Florida for tonight's Continental Cablevision Channel 19 High School Game of the Week, featuring the Cooper City Cowboys and the Plantation Colonels.
Just the Manly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean Alvashar, and I'm joined alongside by the former head coach of Coconut Creek High School, Al Milton. Tonight's game, Cooper City Plantation. 1 year ago, these two teams squared off for the district championship. Tale of another season, Coach. Plantation undefeated. We had that great game 2 weeks ago against Dillard that gave them the district championship. Most likely, they're in a position to do it. Cooper City, 5 one-point losses on the year, and that's a tough break. 2-7 coming in. Coach, first let's start with Cooper City. How do you get ready for a game when you're 2-7 and your season looks to be over?
Well, I think talking to Coach Snyder earlier tonight, I believe they were looking at last year's film, and they saw that they played a good game against Plantation. Obviously, Plantation is coming in last year at the same thing they did this year, undefeated, although they got a lot more wins under their belt at this point in time. So, like you say, Cooper City's lost 5 games by just a couple of points. They know they're capable of playing good football. So Cooper City's going to be the one tonight that I think will be sky high coming out. We saw it in the warm-ups out here tonight. I think they'll be sky high, and they're going to come out ready to play. If they can hold and be competitive in the first half, that'll build their hopes going into halftime, and then who knows with the second half.
Now, if you listen to media people all across at any level, they tell you you'd like a bye week before the big game. You talk to Coach Frank Hepler at Plantation, he'll tell you he's glad to have the bye week after the big game. It's a huge game against Dillard. They win 34-31. They have a week off. Then they have Cooper City. So sometimes, at least in his mind, it's better to have the week off after the big game.
Well, I think Coach Hepler is feeling like coming after a big game like that, you come out a little banged up. So he had injuries. Maybe they weren't injuries that would have really hurt him. It might have taken away from his practice all week, and it could have cost him valuable time. Someone could have slipped up on him. Talking about slipping up on somebody, though, he's going to have to be sure that tonight, that they're not already looking forward to the playoffs and that they're bypassing Cooper City. And that can be a tremendous problem sometimes when you got a team as well coached, as good a team as Plantation is, facing a team that's only got 2 wins. So that's what, of course, Cooper City's going to hope, is that they're going to sneak in early tonight and then stay competitive. Plantation's got to watch for that.
Well, you can probably tell behind us it's senior night here at Cooper City, and that might be a little bit extra motivation for the Cooper City Cowboys tonight. Well, we hope we have a good one. The playoffs are only 2 weeks away. It's the Cooper City Cowboys and the Plantation Colonels, and it's next on Continental Cablevision.
Safety First, an informative new program on Continental Cablevision's Channel 19, designed to keep you informed on important safety issues in our everyday lives. Find out from the experts what safety measures you can take regarding your home, children, automobile, personal safety, hurricane preparation, and much, much more. Safety First, every Friday night at 8, right here on Continental Cablevision's Channel 19.
Hey, Dan, what's big as a football field?
Yeah?
Entertains 50,000 people.
I've got it.
And tastes great.
Huh?
We're talking about Footy's Y100 Winging for Here's Help. December 7th at Young Circle. Free live concerts and over 50 restaurants serving great food all day.
Footy's Y100 Winging, of course. You know what threw me? I usually don't think of Footy and good taste together.
Hey! Wise guy.
Bring the family. Big fun, good cause, tastes great.
And welcome to the Continental Cablevision High School Game of the Week, featuring the Plantation Colonels and the Cooper City Cowboys. I'm Sean Alvashar, joined alongside by the coach, Al Milton. Cooper City has won the toss and has opted to receive the ball to start the beginning of play. Kicking off for the Plantation Colonels will be number 16, Hiro Intriago. One of the more intriguing names in high school football. And the ball is kicked off. This game's underway. It will be handled by number 33, Darren Jones of the Cowboys. And Darren Jones has a seam. Darren Jones is to the 50 before he's knocked out of bounds by number 44, Dwight Perkins of the Colonels. So the Cowboys get off to a super start here to start off this football game.
John, I tell you, that was a nice return there. He fielded the ball on about the 5-yard line and turned. You can see the block set up in front of him. Looked like he was going to go into the middle, one of the plantation. They didn't get the number turned. And about 4 nice blocks. It looked like a big team. A little more speed. Boy, that could have gone all the way. Nice return.
So, Cooper City will come out. We go through it, but our monitor is broken up here in the press box. We're not going to be able to give you replays up here in the press box. So early on, the Cowboy offense led by their quarterback, number 12, Tommy Waters, and he incomplete on his first pass. 0 for 1, 2nd and 10 for the Cowboys.
Well, Waters threw it pretty good that time, had a little zip on it. Field's wet. We were on the field earlier tonight, and the field's a little bit damp, so receivers might have a little bit of trouble hanging on to the ball. But that was number 44, I believe, for Cooper City that time, and ball kind of slipped through his hands, and wasn't much we can do. There we go. We got a good monitor here, Sean. You did a nice job on repairing that.
I just hit it, Coach. That's
right.
all I did.
One slap side the monitor there, and it's working.
Hey, Continental will get my bill.
There you go.
Isn't that the way it works?
That's the way it works.
About 4 hours worth of work there, I think. Okay, the ball is now handed off to Jason Feliciano, and Feliciano breaks into the secondary. First down for the Cowboys. Credit a 16-yard pickup for Feliciano. Let's take a look at that Cooper City offense. Tommy Waters at quarterback. Darren Jones and Feliciano at the running back. Cohen and Adele, the wide receivers, and Josh Kay at tight end. Kirby, Pace, Waring, Parker, and Nash up front for the Cowboys.
Well, again, real nice play that time. They're playing the option. They're blocking outside and letting our tackle to tackle. So handed that up, Matt, coming up through the middle, and they were trying to play for the pitch. So a nice call by Cooper City that time. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. This time Feliciano gets the call one more time, but he is going to be driven down at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 10. Well, they didn't fool anybody on that play. Feliciano took the ball, took it up off the tackle. They gave to the big man up the middle, so no gain.
Let's take a look at that Plantation Colonel defense. The secondary, Willie Webb, Crum, Stewart, and Burke. The linebackers, Salas, Perkins, and Kiefaber. And up front, Jordan, Wilson, Stirrup, and McCalla. Second and 10. This time Waters is going to roll to his right. It's going to be a screen pass back to Feliciano. He has some blockers. Feliciano down the sideline to the 20. He'll be very close to a first down.
John, that was a nice little play action there. Lined up in a high backfield that time and had the receiver split out here. Did a nice job, gave a nice fake up the middle to the fullback, rolled out to the opposite side, turned back around, threw back. Feliciano had 2 men out there to block. Nice little screen and big yardage. Cooper City looks real good right now at this time.
We're going to take a look at it. Hang on, Coach. It will be a little bit short of the first down.
Here we go. We see the quarterback Waters roll out a little bit, turns backside. A lot of people in there, but number 2 makes a nice catch, turns it down, and I think you're right. I think they're about a yard short, but good job. Didn't get the number of the 2 blockers he had out, but a nice job by the lineman getting out and making blocks for him.
One of the blockers was the left tackle for Cooper City, Brant Kirby, the 6'1", 235-pound junior. One of the things you notice about the Cooper City team this year is they have some youth. Their left side are both juniors, Kirby and John Pace. So they do have some youth, some things to build on. It's been a tough year at 2-7. Close games, some close losses. Their only district win so far this year is against Miramar. And as you can see right there, they are going to award them the first down on the play. So first down, that's 2 first downs for Cooper City on the drive. And now all of a sudden Cooper City is in business. And this is kind of expected, at least in your mind.
Well, yeah, it is. That's what we talked about earlier. I said Cooper City's got to come out and play hard in this first half and stay in the ball game and not let Plantation obviously get a chance to get on the ball. Plantation's got to wake up, or Cooper City's going to have them down here real quick. If they can hang with them right now and get to the halftime, which is a long time away, then second half could be a toss-up.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Once again, you see they're in the I formation, but as the coaches mentioned, they run that option, and this time Feliciano gets the carry. Feliciano looking to turn that corner, and Feliciano will pick up, it looks like about 6 yards, and Cooper City looking super on offense in the early going.
Well, they really do, and one of the things Plantation's up against right now, I don't really know if Plantation's faced an option team the way they're facing Cooper City. And if you don't run the option in your own playbook, then it's real hard to impersonate who you're going to play. And I think they're having a little bit of trouble right now picking up the keys that they're supposed to follow. And consequently, Feliciano's also doing a good job. But you got to credit this to the block he's getting outside down the field that's giving him that extra yardage.
Well, my eyes are as bad as Coach Melton. First down, not just 6 yards. He was able to turn the corner enough for the game. This time the ball is handed to number 33, Darren Jones. Jones is going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, I think Jones may take a beating up the middle tonight, but what they're going to do, in my opinion, is Coach Snyder's going to keep him honest. He's going to keep hitting that fullback dive every once in a while to make those inside linebackers read it, make them know that if they take a fall 3, there's going to be a big hole up the middle. And I think you're going to see a lot of Waters and maybe on the screens on the outside, and a lot of that option coming outside. In that last play, we looked like the quarterback might have kept it, and he turned that up real nice. So quarterback's bound to keep one of these coming around the corner in just a few minutes.
So once again, out comes the Cowboy offense. Second and goal from the 9. This time Feliciano is going to get the carry, and he will go nowhere, maybe a yard if he's lucky. That'll bring up third and goal from the 8.
Well, Feliciano's running hard. Like I say, the biggest thing they're doing right now, though, is they're controlling the clock. And you think about that when you just kicked off the game, and you think, well, my goodness, that's not anything to be worried about at this point in time. I'll tell you, Cooper City's got to have long, sustained drives and keep Plantation's offense from being able to get the ball and get on the board.
Well, they've done a good job so far. 8:42 remains here in the first period of play, so they're working on a 4-minute, 5-minute drive here to open up the contest. Waters this time, straight drop back, looking for his tight end, and it will be incomplete, but flags come flying. He was looking for his wide receiver, Ross Adell, the 5'11", 160-pound senior, nearly came down with the catch for the touchdown, but it looks like interference will be the call.
Well, we'll watch our official out there.
First down, half the distance. Well, we caught him just a little bit late, but the call was interference against the Colonels. Let's take a look at it one more time.
Well, you see the tight end, step back, you see the tight end. There's 2 Plantation ball players up on him. It looks to me like it was number 11 back there. That was Willie Webb that got his hands on him a little bit. And, you know, you can't fault the cornerback or the free safety on something like that, because if he doesn't go up and knock it down, hey, they've got 6 points to get him. So it's a call that did hurt by giving them a first down, but it did keep them out of the end zone.
So they get the first down. The ball is put down at the 4-yard line. First and goal from the 4 for the Cowboys. And out again come the flags. This time I believe it might back up the Cowboys 5 yards.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense,
Well,
half
no,
the
it's the
distance.
encroachment against the Colonels, so tack on half the distance. But that'll make it first and goal from the 2-yard line. So a little help from the Colonels, and the Cowboys might be able to punch this one into the end zone.
Well, that's true. Feliciano is sitting there ready to run the ball this time. The quarterback came out, probably changed up his cadence just a little bit and was able to draw that in. It looked like into the neutral zone.
So first and goal from the 2-yard line. Waters under center. Feliciano gets the ball, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Well, I tell you what, this was an outstanding drive by Cooper City. There's 8 minutes and 26 seconds left to go before Plantation's going to get the ball. So they had a very well-sustained drive. They got an excellent return on the kickoff. It started them up on the 50-yard line. They turned right back around and throw a little screen play there that picks up a big first down. And they're just doing a super job with the play calling right now. They've got Plantation a little bit off balance.
So is Feliciano's 2-yard touchdown run. The score with 8:26 remaining here in the first quarter. Cooper City 6, Plantation 0. Out comes Russell Rendon, the senior place kicker for the Cowboys. The kick is up, and it is good. So, as I said, 8:26 remaining here in the first period. Coach, 7-0, Cowboys in the lead. How about that? We saw a shootout the last time we saw Plantation, but we sure as heck didn't expect to see this one. Excuse me.
Well, yeah, we did, and you know, we talked about this coming into the game tonight, and we felt like that, or at least I felt like that playing Cooper City in the number of years I did, Cooper City has always played a lot of opponents real tough, and that's real early in the game. And where they've usually run into problems is in that third quarter, or at least earlier on. Perry Snyder and I came down here at the same time 10 years ago. They would run out of a little bit of a steam, but he's got a lot of ball players on the sideline with him now, and I'm not real surprised to see him come out and mount a good drive and play real tough early on in this game. Can they sustain it? That's going to be the key.
So there you see number 8, John Campbell, back to return the kick for the Plantation Colonels, along with number 11, Willie Webb. Of course, it looked like Willie Webb was the man who had the interference call against him in the end zone. However, the way the Cowboys were driving, it may have been a moot point. But it was big because it was a 3rd and goal, and that gave them an automatic first down. So we'll have to see how Plantation reacts. Out to handle the kickoff duties for the Cooper City Cowboys will be number 7, Russell Rendon. And this is going to be a short kick, waiting for it to go 10 yards. And it looks as if the Colonels had recovered. And that is a super call there by the coaching staff from Cooper City. It's a very intriguing play where you just kick the ball hard enough and let your team surround the ball till it goes 10 yards. It takes a very gutsy player on the receiving team to go after it.
Well, it really does. It's a gutsy call by the coaching staff, which proves to us right now they're going to do everything they can tonight. They're coming out here with every intention to try to win this game. So now the pressure's going to be on the Cooper City defense. What can they do? Can they stop what we saw 2 weeks ago? The two best defenses in the county, Plantation and Dillard, but it wasn't a defensive game. It was an offensive battle all night long. So be interesting to see now how Cooper City steps up with their defense.
So out comes Brian Snyder, the quarterback for the Plantation Colonels.
He didn't want to hit anybody, though, right?
And immediately hands it off to number 7, Harold Walden. And Walden trying to turn a corner, and it looks as if he'll pick up about 4 yards. Of course, 2 weeks ago in the Continental Game of the Week, Walden had the huge carry, went 68 yards to give Plantation, put them in position to win the game. There you see the Colonel offense. Snyder at quarterback, Madison and Sandiford are the starters, but as you see, Walden also is in there. At receiver, Finley, Beard are some of the receivers. Shapiro, Caggiano, Luggery, Bavette, and Golub up front. This time, Snyder back to pass, looking, finding number 21 for the Colonels. And that'll get down to the 35-yard line. So the Colonels come out, throwing the ball, and they're able to pick up a first down.
Well, I think that's where they're real dangerous. I think Snyder is one of the better quarterbacks, and we've seen him play a couple times. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the county. And if Cooper City can't get pressure on that quarterback, then Snyder's liable to pick him apart all night long. He's got the arm, and he reads well.
This time the pitch goes to Walden around the corner. Walden looking for room to run. Walden looks to have picked up another 10 and a first down. Brought down by number 59, Kevin Bates. And now we'll take a look at the Cooper City defense. Up front, Nick Hill, Brody Parker, Matt Pritikin, and Kevin Bates. The linebackers, Hughes, Bowling, and Evans, along with Amber. In the secondary, Amaya, Genevieve, and the free safety will be Mark Cooter. So Walden did not have enough for the first down, make it 2nd and 1. This time, Sandiford is going to be the ball carrier. Madison will be the ball carrier, and Madison will rumble his way down, picking up 10. And right now, it seems the Colonels are getting 10 yards a pop.
Well, they really are, and this is where, Coach Snyder's going to have that defense step in there. This is what we talked about a minute ago. The biggest plan he can have is to keep his offense out there on the field. Here you have it coming up on the replay, right up the middle. Not a hard call. We got missed tackles there. They've got to lock up another 8 or 9 yards every time they're picking up the ball. This is the biggest problem they're going to have is stopping this offensive Plantation.
First down. This time the ball carrier will be number 7, Harold Walden. And Walden will be stopped in the backfield, maybe a loss of 1. That was led by number 38, Hector Morales from the Cooper City Cowboys.
Well, Morales stepped in that time, and I'm not sure whether he came from the linebacker position or not, but they had a stunt going on, it looked like, from the outside strong linebacker or inside strong. Running that 4-4, and they were able to get in and get penetration. And Cooper City's going to have to get penetration with those linebackers, especially playing with the 4-4.
So negligible game, make it 2nd and 10. This time Snyder back to pass, looking, and the ball will be incomplete. This time he was looking for number 84, Roy Artiega.
Well, you had Matt Ambers that time, number 5, coming across from Cooper City on an outside blitz. And you'll see it here. Pick it up on the replay. Here you'll see, I believe it's number 5. There you see him coming in. Did not get in to make penetration, but Cooper City's trying to blitz us. That's a ball right there that's got to be caught. Not a bad throw. And just, again, they go back to what we talked about, a little bit damp on the field tonight. They had a rain this afternoon, and the ball might just be a little bit sloppy right now.
So, twin wide receivers to the near side. Snyder back to pass. And he is going to be brought down in a hurry. Number 58 from Cooper City. Excuse me, I don't have a 58 number. Looks like 54 was the man who made the tackle. We'll give you his name in just a second. That would be Kevin Guthard.
Now we'll see it here. He's coming from the far outside. I think it's 59. He's coming in, was able to get an inside rip on him. Snyder never saw him coming, and so lost to 3 yards, but a nice by the defensive end there.
59, of course, being Kevin Bates. And the field goal attempt from Piro Intriago is no good. And Cooper City has held, and they will come out with a 7-0 lead with 5:16 remaining. It only took me 3 tries to get the young man's name right out there. How about that? That's pretty good for me.
Well, it was. It's hard to see, though, because he did come from the outside position. He was able to get his inside shoulder free and had a little bit of a rip technique there coming. Watching what they're doing out here, though, is Coach Snyder's got some different stunts coming with his linebackers and his outside guys, and he's mixing up the calls right now, but just a good effort by number 59, Bates.
So out comes the Colonel offense, 1st and 10 from the 20. And it looks as if the ball carrier was number 2, once again, Jason Feliciano. And it looks as if he has picked up just a yard. Now make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're trying that middle, and they're trying to get those linebackers tight. If they can pull those linebackers in for plantation, they can start reading that dive play, which is the responsibility of those 2 inside backers. They can get them reading that, and then all of a sudden cut it outside. They may find some running room. Looks like they're making the read, I think, off the strong safety at the end in this option series.
This time Waters drops back, looking, finding his man, number 85, Mike Cohen, and Cohen turns it upfield, very close to a 1st down.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a nice tackle by Willie Webb that time out on the outside, because if he doesn't make this tackle, then they've got big distance there. Nice throw, though. Early in the warm-ups, we saw him dropping a lot of these. Number 85 turns it up there, and I believe 85 was Cohen. I tell you what, Willie Webb saved a big gain right there by coming in on a nice open field tackle.
3rd and inches for the Cowboys. Feliciano, the fullback, Darren Jones, the tailback. And Feliciano will be the ball carrier, and we'll have to wait on the mark on this one. I do not believe he has enough for the 1st down.
I don't believe he has enough for the 1st down. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. I was a little surprised that time that they made a handoff. We'll see, though. The referees are out there. Looks like the mark is a little bit behind. Now comes a real gutsy call. We saw him go just a minute ago with onside kick. Coach Snyder, and he's not a lot further down the line this time. They're conferring they may be coming out for a measurement. There you see the quarterback.
Short by about 4 or 5 inches, 4th down. Ball's on the 29.5.
If the ball does not touch the 30-yard line, since the drive started at the 20-yard line, how in the world could it be a 1st down? But my question has answered. There you see the head coach from Cooper City looking on, and he is going to make his decision. At 2 and 7, they're going to try to pick up the 1st down, or at least attempt to draw offside the Plantation Colonels. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, then that may be. They may try to get the draw, but I was a little bit surprised that time they went to a handoff and they just let the quarterback take it up. Middle linebackers are playing up awfully tight.
Well, Mr. Feliciano got the call once again and dives forward just enough for the 1st down.
John, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the clock. 3:15 to go in the 1st half. And, of course, when you're 2 and 7 and you're in a big game like this, you really don't, and they play close in a lot of games. You don't have a lot to lose by going ahead and gambling a little bit and see if you can get some momentum completely on your side. At this point in time, Cooper City certainly is a fired-up ball club and looks good. 2 gutsy calls by Coach Snyder, though, with the 1 minute to go on the onside, and now going for it deep in his own territory, looks like about the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys. And Feliciano, apparently working on a 100-carry night, gets to the call and picks up 2 yards, if he's lucky. It looks like it'll just be a yard, and that'll set up 2nd and 9. They're really using Feliciano a lot early on.
Well, they really are, and I really think I'm watching these inside linebackers Plantation, and they're reading that dive. That was Dwight Perkins that time, I believe, number 44 for Plantation, stepped up and made the tackle. Cooper City's doing a good job. If they make those linebackers read hard, they're going to break outside on that pitch. And the quarterback has got to keep that in just a few minutes to turn it up tight.
This time the ball is on the ground, and Waters eventually will fall on it and recover the ball. Looks like there might have been some miscommunication between Waters and Feliciano. The ball popped loose. Waters alert enough to fall on it, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and I believe number 20 came up and put the pressure, too, and that was Claude Stewart. Well, they just had a bad snap, not a snap, but they tried to make the handoff. They were lucky to get the ball back, but the corner was coming up, or free safety Claude Stewart was coming up also on that. But that was where you had the option coming. It looked like the quarterback was trying to pull it and turn up real tight.
So Waters back to pass, looking, and the ball will be completed, but a great hit from Willie Webb. Put on number 2, or excuse me, yes, number 2 was the man who caught the ball, Dave Feliciano. So nice catch, but an even better hit by Willie Webb, and Willie Webb having a great game early on.
Yeah, Webb's playing a good game right now. He had that penalty a minute ago, which I believe was him on the interference. But right here you see the ball in the air. Feliciano's got to feel that thing clean because he wasn't able to turn around, and Webb put a nice hit on him.
So Russell Rendon, the place kicker and the punter, comes out. He gets up a high, short kick. Fair catch is going to be made by the man of the hour, number 21. Unfortunately, there's no 21 on our Plantation Colonels roster.
Yeah, I'm not real sure who 21 is for Plantation, but fielded the ball clean there, and they're going to start right about the 40-yard line.
So excellent field position for the Colonels. The flag will be waved off from our official tonight. And the Colonels will come out with 53.8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
John, it's been an interesting quarter. Cooper City's done some good things. Plantation, it might be what we talked about early, too. Coming out after that layoff for a week, they got healthy, but he also might have gotten just a little bit flat in thinking about this 2-17. So Plantation's going to have to crank it up here behind Snyder.
Well, the ball is handed off to number 9, O'Neal Sandiford, and Sandiford breaking into the secondary. Beautiful run. Picks up 23 yards on a 1st down.
Well, Sandiford did a nice job that time. He came in, got a couple of key blocks for that offensive line. We saw them do a great job a couple weeks ago. In fact, we've seen them do a good job 2 or 3 times that we've seen them this year. But nice job by Sandiford that time, breaking it up the middle, right off the tackle, excuse me. Here you'll see the replay coming up right here. Here you see the pitch. He had the lead back cutting outside trying to make a block. Nice block. I believe that was number 72.
Well, we come back to live action, and negligible game there for number 8, John Campbell. And that'll probably set up a 2nd and 9. They are going to give him a yard on the carry, so make it 2nd and 9. And the man of 2 weeks ago, Travis Madison, has yet to been in. And there you see the Plantation Cologne. I guess it's a new fragrance they're sporting over there, Plantation Eye.
I don't know. I can't quite figure this out, but there you have the quarter, and an interesting quarter this first quarter.
Well, we're going to send it to a break right now. The score's a little bit surprising if you're just tuning in. The Cowboys from Cooper City lead the Plantation Colonels 7-0. We'll be right back after this.
Florida seafood favorite, but be careful, they might get hooked.
As a songwriter, I have the freedom to express my opinions with words and music. That's a right we all share as Americans. The freedom to believe as we choose. The right to speak out on the things we care about. Guaranteed by one thing, the mighty First Amendment. The amendment that keeps us free. For a free guide to your First Amendment rights, call 1-800-815-5335.
Welcome back to the Continental Cablevision Channel 19 High School Game of the Week. There you see the score, and it might be surprising if you're just tuning in. The Cooper City Cowboys lead the Plantation Colonels 7-0 as we begin the second quarter. Of course, I'm Sean Alvashar, joined alongside by the coach, Al Milton. We came back just one play late. We didn't miss anything. Snyder on a 2nd and 9 tried to find Roy Archiega on the far right sideline. The pass was just a little bit wide, so that brings up 3rd down for the Colonels. And this time Snyder back to pass, looking to his left, and he is going to be brought down in a hurry. Big number 99, Nick Hill, the 6'5", 220-pound defensive end, came in and buried Snyder for a 5-yard loss.
John, I'm real surprised at that. That was a great effort by 99. I'm not surprised at him. Nick Hill's been coming, and the play that we just missed on the out pattern that Snyder tried to throw, he got a lot of pressure. But watch this coming in. Cooper City had backed off their 4 linebackers, and they only rushed their front 4. An outstanding job by Nick Hill. Someone never got a hat or anything on him, and just a super job. I believe that was McBride.
And the punt is
And
blocked.
here we
it's
go.
going to be picked up by number 4, Humberto Amaya. It's a foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys! Unbelievable!
Well, I tell you what, right now the Cowboys have made the total switch. They put everything to their side at this point in time. Outstanding job. We just saw a minute ago Cooper City lined up, put 4 people up, had the 4 linebackers, back the linebackers off to about 5 yards deep, and then all of a sudden rushed 4 and got in for a big tackle on Snyder. Now you see a bad snap. Here you see the snap to the punter. You've got a bad snap. Can't get it off. Let's get the number on who comes in and gets a hand on it. There it is right there. I got a feeling it's number 4 or 5. I believe that was Amaya. Humberto Amaya gets up very alertly along with number 20, scoops the ball up. Outstanding effort by Cooper City. I'll tell you what, everyone's in shock on that far side. And, boy, I tell you, this is what football's all about. Look at this Cooper City side over here. Everybody's standing and having a great time. This is what do you say? I mean, I'm a little shocked. We're up 13-0 here with Cooper City.
Well,
I'm sorry, 14-0.
Russell Redmond comes out and tacks on the extra point, so with 11:09 remaining here in the second period of play, the Cooper City Cowboys have taken a 14-0 lead against the number 5 team in the state, Class 6A, the Plantation Colonels. And this has been an amazing opening to a football game that we've seen in all the games we've done together, Coach.
I think you're right. I tell you, this ranks right up there in with any of them. This has been exciting. And I think the thing that's exciting to me is you're seeing an underdog who's really coming out and they're playing hard and they're just fired up. If you can look at the bench there that we're seeing on the monitor, there you see the Cooper City kids. And Coach Snyder told us prior to the game when we talked to him on the field, we always talk to both coaches prior to the game. Coach Snyder leaned over to us and told us, he said, this is going to be a great football game tonight. He said, we feel like we've really got a chance to be in it. Well, I'll tell you what, he's up 14-0 right now, and he's in it. Now, again, a lot of time to go in the game, but he's got these kids really believing in themselves, and they're playing a fantastic game for this first quarter first quarter in a minute, I'm sorry. Not even into the second quarter, hardly.
So out comes Rendon to kick the ball off. It'll be handled by number 32, Andrew Burke, for the Colonels. And out comes a fired-up Cowboy team. Brings down Burke at the 27-yard line. And that's where the Colonels will begin their offensive series. Their third one of the game.
Well, yeah, that was a pretty nice kickoff. Fielded on about, I think it was on around the 9 or 10-yard line. But Cooper City had good coverage that time when the tackle was made. There was, looks like, about 5 or 6 jerseys, black jerseys around the white jersey on the ground. So you're getting a lot of effort right now. And I think Plantation's playing a little bit flat right now.
So Madison and Walden will be the ball carriers in the backfield, and Walden will get the call. Going off the right side, Walden will be very close to a first down, and Walden probably the smallest back of the many that Plantation usually get. He might be the toughest because sometimes he's the hardest one that we've seen in our games to bring down.
Well, yeah, he really has been. He's a hard runner, and we've noticed that and complimented him on that. That time they ran off that right side, and I'll tell you something that's impressed me all year. There you had Luggery, number 53, Bavette, number 63, Golub, number 70, all 5-6 yards down throwing blocks for that Plantation running back.
2nd and 2. This time the ball was handed to the upback, number 6, Travis Madison, the hero of the Dillard game, and it looks like he will be very close. So close, in fact, it will be a first down.
Well, that's pretty close. When you're close enough, and it is a first down. But I tell you what, though, this is a good football game. We came down here a little bit hesitant and wondering what kind of competition we were going to run into and whether the game would get out of control. But I'll tell you, this is an outstanding football game.
So the 1st and 10, Snyder this time pitches the ball to Walden. And Walden is brought down in a hurry, and guess who makes the tackle from behind? Number 99, Nick Hill.
Well, I tell you, Nick Hill's playing an outstanding game right now. He came from the far left side that time and came across to make that tackle. I believe that was number 53 for Cooper City, and I don't see him on here yet, but I believe number 53, David DeFalco, and did a nice job. But they're stepping up in, and there's some good hitting on both sides of the ball right now.
2nd and 8 for the Colonels. Snyder looking, and incomplete. The intended receiver was his tight end, Dosey McBride. The ball was nearly intercepted by number 54 from Cooper City. Number 44, Mark Hooter, who just seemed to be right in the area, nearly made a great play, and this place would have went nuts if he could have came up with the ball. But as it stands, 3rd and 8 for the Colonels, and something we've seen today that we haven't seen yet from the Colonels is being put in deep 3rd and long situations.
Well, it really is, and they started off on that first drive. You know, it was like the first 4 plays they had either 3 or 4 first downs, and looked like they were just going to roll, and that's what we kind of expected them to do. But I'll tell you what, they're struggling just a little bit offensively now. Now you see Snyder in the shotgun.
Out of the gun, Snyder back to pass. Has some time, and he is looking deep for number 18, Sean Noonan, and the ball will be intercepted, and guess who it is? The man of the hour, Humberto Amaya. Welcome to your Rockwellian 15 minutes of fame. Holy cow.
You know what? Amaya looked like when Snyder sat back and they broke off the line, the 2 receivers for Plantation looked like they were going to be open and be open deep. The ball was thrown pretty well. Amaya makes the comeback. Here you'll see Snyder sets up. He's ready to throw. And right here when they see the ball coming down, looked like the Cooper City receivers were beat. Watch Amaya lay out for the ball. There he goes. He had made a nice recovery, was able to come back in on number 18, and a diving catch. My Lord, big turnover.
So out comes Cooper City. The ball sits on the 20-yard line. Amaya has an interception, a blocked punt, and a touchdown in the first quarter and a half. And now Feliciano gets the carry. Credit him for 13 yards and a first down. Holy cow, which team is the state-ranked team and which team is 2-7?
Well, I tell you what, Cooper City's playing with a lot of emotion. Feliciano came off that time, and that time they were able to get a block on that middle linebacker. And again, I apologize because I didn't see the young man off the offensive line that gets out and makes the block. Here we come on the replay, and you'll see big number 77 come out and shielded it off. And Feliciano was able to go. I believe that was Keith Nash. And Feliciano picks up a big 14 yards.
Keith Nash, the right tackle, stands 6'6", 315 pounds. A lot of weight behind him, making the hold. This time, Feliciano once again off the right side. He seems to like Keith Nash a lot, picking up 6 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Well, pretty good play that time by number 45 there. That was Albert Elias, and we've seen him play all year, and he does a good job. He's one of those linebackers along in there with Keith Haber and Perkins, and that's an outstanding linebacking crew, but boy, Cooper City's breaking through right now.
Well, Coach, if you remember, Albert Salas was the man who made the interception at the end of regulation in the Dillard game, which forced that game to go to overtime. So this linebacking core knows how to come up with big plays. They've done it all year, but right now, the biggest test of the year is staring them right in the face, and that is the Cooper City Cowboys down 14-0 with 8:10 remaining in the second period. This time, number 33, Darren Jones, gets the call. The ball's on the ground, and what a turn of events. Number 20, Claude Stewart picks it up. Touchdown, Colonels.
Well, that's a big defensive play right there. I don't know what happened there. They came off on the left side. They ran a different running back this time. I believe that was Jones running the ball. And for no gain, somehow they were able to strip the ball away and turn it down for 6 points. So there you have. We'll see it. Maybe we can pick it up on the replay. Here you see the handoff. Jones goes up through the middle. You see the hit right there. Looks like everything. Just a strip. Just took the... Well, I don't know exactly how that ball was able to get up and score, but they did strip the ball and take it away. It looked like the play was probably down, but maybe not. Officials are out there. They can see it a lot better than us. But a big break for Plantation.
So out comes Triago to handle the extra point for the Colonels. The score now stands 14-6. A huge break for the Colonels, and the break was created by the defense. As many people will tell you, you sometimes create your own luck and you create your own breaks. At that time, they were able to create a fumble, Stewart picks it up, rumbles 40 yards for the touchdown, and that cuts the game to 14-6. But a delay of game will back it up 5 yards. This could be a big extra point. Down 14-6. That'll make it an 8-point difference if Intriago now has to tack on 5 yards to a 6 to not put it through. It stands, the ball will sit at the 15-yard line, making a 25-yard extra point attempt. Kick is up. And it is good. So, Intriago, the delay of game, didn't even face it as he flipped the uprights, and that cuts the score to 14-7. Cooper City in the lead.
Well, it really does, and that was a big play for Plantation. And that defense we've seen, that's the reason they've been ranked up at number 1, 2, or 3 all year defensively. We saw a big play. Here we'll see the touchdown again. Here you'll see hands off the ball to Jones. Jones comes around. Does look like he goes down at this point in time. A nice hit there. I believe that was Dwight Perkins that made the first hit. Ball still in his hand. Don't know how that ball came up off the ground and anybody advanced with it, but able to pick it up. Heads up play by number 20 coming down there and did a good job. Was able to take it down 40-something yards for the score. So just heads up play that time by Claude Stewart.
Well, I want to say it looked like number 44, Dwight Perkins, was the man who went in and stripped Darren Jones of the ball. Now, it could have been number 45, Albert Stiles, who was unable to pick it up on the replay, so I'm going to say both their names, so when I visit Plantation High School, the player doesn't come up to me and say, hey, that was me. But we talk about the linebackers from the Colonels, and as soon as we talk about them, they come up with the huge play. The free safety, Claude Stewart, picks it up, cuts the lead to 14-7, and that's the mark of a champion, getting down and coming back.
And we've seen those linebackers make those kind of plays all year this year.
So the sky kick to Cooper City.
They're going to have a flag on that because there was a fair catch call, and that was a big costly mistake, for Plantation.
Feliciano did make the fair catch and was able to catch the ball, but then was run over from the Colonels, and most likely this penalty will be assessed against the Colonels and tack it on from the spot of the foul.
Good ball, personal foul, striking the receiver after a fair catch was given, 15 yards from the spot.
So there you see it, a personal foul assessed against the Plantation Colonels. And we'll take a look at it one more time. Watch Feliciano, number 2, is the man who will catch the ball in your screen, and then watch the Colonels kickoff team come and just outright flatten.
Yeah, there you had it, and not real sure they couldn't have called spearing on that same thing because he really came in with a head down. Big call against Plantation. Costly mistake. John, we've seen that kickoff by Plantation all year too. That kickoff we've seen, and we've questioned that several times. They kick high and over to that right corner. They've got good speed when they're coming down, and they cover that well. Most teams are going to see that, and they realize at that point in time that they're able to go ahead and fair catch the ball, and they're going to start on about the 30 or 35 yard line. I'm not so sure that's not number 30 who was also in on that hit. Got up and started to move and then fell back down. Looks like they're looking at his shoulder.
Well, number 30 for the Colonels is Sean Burney, the junior linebacker who also participates on the special teams. And the best sign we've seen so far is him sitting up. So hopefully it is just maybe a stinger or something of that nature where he might be able to ride it out towards the end of the game. But he definitely doesn't look in good shape.
No, he doesn't, and he wasn't involved in the tackle because we couldn't see it at the time where they were. They were over on this far side, so we didn't see exactly how he got injured at that point in time. But again, let's go back to the way Plantation kicks the ball. They've been kicking that, and we've said all along, it's not going to be long for one of these guys that's going to go up in the air and feel that thing clean, and they're going to take it down for points for them. On the other hand, they also do a little thing where they all line up by the ball. Cooper City's the only team we've seen that brings their people up and plays that little run they make up to the ball. We commented about that the other day. We said one of these days they're going to kick that little ball, they're going to kick it right over the middle, and they're going to have a big play. So Cooper City's defending that. They backed off of it and then, of course, kicked it over to the corner at about the 30-yard line. So a real interesting concept they have as far as Plantation is concerned with their kickoff team.
You have to have now there seems to be a discrepancy We are unsure of what the situation is. However, one of the Cooper City coaches jogged across the field with the head official tonight to talk to Coach Frank Kepler on the Plantation sideline. So apparently there was a situation maybe with the players or with the play itself.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be the Cooper City trainer also, because he was down, I believe, with the injured player at one time. I'm not real sure, but that might be the Cooper City trainer. There you see Coach Epler and the referee speaking to the Cooper City personnel.
You see the head coach of Cooper City, Perry Snyder.
John, I think that might have been the Cooper City trainer. It might even be one of the doctors from down here. I don't know. They've gone back in the back of the bench with the trainer from Plantation, and they're staying over on that side with number 30. So I got a feeling that was probably some of the medical personnel from Cooper City High School.
And that's the wonderful thing about high school football and high school athletics. Yes, this is a competition. Both teams are competing. But if there's a player that does have an injury and a trainer from another team might be able to assist the trainer from the opposing team, they get together and they do for the common good of the player. I mean, that's really what we're all about here, is about competition and learning the values of winning and losing.
Yeah, and things that we have to keep in perspective, too, is you got to remember we're playing this game at the high school level with 15, 16, and 17-year-old kids, and they are kids, and their well-being and what we teach them as coaches is of the utmost importance all the way around.
So Cooper City now is going to try to come back and rebound after the fumble and touchdown from Claude Stewart to free safety. And on the first play, Feliciano gets the carry, and he is going to lose about 2 yards. I guess the safest bet on that call was that Darren Jones wasn't going to handle the ball.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. That was Roberto McCalla that came up, number 40, I believe, that stepped up in there for Plantation. They had a switch. Cooper City changed their formation there at the last minute, and they got to switch over. But when they did, number 40 stepped up on the outside, I believe, from Plantation, and he was untouched. So when they made the handoff, he was in the backfield. I think they lost 2 or 3 yards.
Let's take a look at this one more time.
Here you'll see the snap. Then he got the handoff. He stepped in, and number 40 was untouched. The quarterback there just gets run over. Couldn't get out of the way. Again, you had number 54 and 45 both coming in. And so we're seeing those linebackers step up and make plays.
So that would be a truly unfortunate situation if Tommy Waters, the starting quarterback, was knocked out of the football game. I believe he is okay. He jogged off the field, but he will have to sit out one play due to the fact there was an injury and a trainer had to come out and attend to him. So he has to sit out one play, and now Cooper City will call a timeout. So this game was flowing right along after the first quarter, but now we hit the second quarter. It's come to a grinding stop as due to injuries, timeouts, and the such.
Well, Sean, I'm watching number 12 down there. I'm watching their quarterback, Tommy Waters, and he looks like he's okay. Of course, anytime you have an injury and they stop the play, that player has to come out for one play. So Perry Snyder, what he was talking to the official about was he knew his player was going to have to come out, but he didn't want to burn a timeout there.
Let's go inside the huddle with Coach Snyder and the backup quarterback.
No. Run the pattern, but if he can run, he's going to run, okay? Wings right, switch right, 932. Guys got to block your ass off for him right now, okay? Block your ass off for him.
John, one thing he's doing right now that he's doing real well at, he's got a quarterback going in, and you'll see what's happening. This quarterback is taking snaps from the center. He can do that in a timeout. He's brought a ball over here from the sideline, and he let that quarterback take about 3 or 4 snaps. Very, very smart thing to do, because quarterback's going in there. He's cold. He hasn't had any snaps. He was able to work in 2 or 3 snaps. So now that you look at it, it was a good timeout if the quarterback can get in there without a fumble, make the handoff, and just hang on for a little while.
The backup quarterback for the Cooper City Cowboys, as you saw on your monitor taking snaps, is number 6, Danny Joseph. Joseph stands at 6'2", 185 pounds, and is only a junior. And that is in quite the comparison to Tommy Waters, who only stands at 5'10" and 160 pounds. So Joseph is considerably bigger than the starter, Tommy Waters. Yet Waters is a 2-year starter here for the Cowboys.
Well, I'll tell you what, we don't know what the new quarterback can do, but Waters has led this team, and 14 points up on the board. As to whether it'll hold up, that's up to the Cowboys. But Waters has done a good job directing this team, and he's taken some pretty good shots in there. But as an option quarterback, he's really got to sit in there and make those reads. He's got to read that when he comes up to the line of scrimmage. He's got to make the determination, unless Coach Snyder is making the call on the dive himself. But he's got to make that determination whether he's going to ride that fullback coming in and make that handoff. And then once he does that, depending upon his decision, he's got to come out, and he's either got to read the first person outside that tackle that's coming across to find out whether he's going to pitch it to the pitch man or he's going to turn it up himself. So, when you lose the starting offensive quarterback in the option, sometimes that can change the whole complexion.
Well, Joseph, and he's going to come out throwing on the first play, and it's not going to happen as Albert Salas came flying through and made a super play, running down Joseph and getting the sack. That'll be a loss of 13 yards, and Coach Snyder showing incredible confidence in his backup.
Well, yeah, he really did. Looked like the quarterback was rolling out. You got Silas coming in there, and you had, I believe it was McCalla coming in 40 along the way. 45 there, Albert Salas just able to reach out and grab part of the jersey, and instead of getting the ball away, really did a good job by not coughing the ball up. Now you've got the change. You got the regular quarterback. Waters is back in, I believe, and may try to go to the air. It's third down and awfully long.
And Joseph comes to the sideline. He looks a little bit banged up after his one play. Now Waters swings it over to Feliciano. Feliciano looking for some blockers, and he breaks the tackle. Feliciano's down the sideline to the 44-yard line, but it looks to be well short of a first down.
Yeah, I think Feliciano probably got back to about to where it's going to be a 4th and 15. Obviously, they'll punt the ball out of here at this point in time, but a pretty good job, and that's that screen play we saw a little bit ago, and it went for just about the same yardage. He picked up almost the yardage that they lost on that last rollout to this side. You'll see him set the screen here. He does a nice job. Gave a nice play fake, rolls out, looks down the right side, turns around, throws back. Number 50 almost made a nice play right there, but number 75, I believe, for the Cowboys was able to step in there and make a pretty good block. That was Bryant Kirby. So a nice job on that screen play by Cooper City.
Brendan kicks the ball off, handed it by our Mr. Anonymous tonight, number 21 for the Plantation Colonels. And that's where the Colonels will begin their offensive possession. 5:46 remains here in the second quarter of play. 14-7, Colonels are in the lead.
Well, I tell you what, we've got an outstanding ball game going. It's going to be interesting this time. The Plantation offense hasn't been on the field very much, and we've seen Snyder. Snyder's a man that can certainly direct them.
So, out comes the Colonel offense. And I'll have to wait and catch the number. It went for no gain. It was number 9 on the carry, O'Neal Sandiford. And actually, credit that for a 1-yard loss for Sandiford.
And I'll tell you what, there was the man again, number 99, Nick Hill for Cooper City, that gets in there and wraps him up. But there was no place to run that time. Cooper City front, they're able to do some things right now with their front and their linebackers, and they're just mixing it up a little bit to throw the Plantation offensive line off.
Split back, Snyder back to pass, throws it out to number 21. We'll try to get a number on him at the half, but this time it will be incomplete, brings up a 3rd and 11.
Well, Ambers and Amalia were out there for Cooper City, and I tell you what, though, with 21, they were able to pick up that ball and go with it. It looked like Amalia and Ambers both had an inside track on him. All he had to do was make a step to the outside, and he had a lot of room. We'll see here on the replay. Here you see the pass coming out. I believe both defenders were on the inside. There you see him. So if he makes that catch at this point in time and turns it down that sideline, could have been a big game, but all for naught as the ball goes free there. A little bit thrown just a little bit wide of him.
Well, credit the Sun Sentinel, who does a phenomenal job on their high school reporting and their crack research staff. To give you the number 21 is Kevin Beard. He's number 31 on our roster. So what was he doing changing his jersey on us?
Well, that's
Red ball, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, on a 3rd and 11, there you see the official tonight marking off 5 yards against the Cowboys, and that'll make it 3rd and 6, a much more manageable situation for the Colonels.
Well, yeah, it really is. Changes your whole play calling from 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 6, so wouldn't be surprised that, well, they're out there in the shotgun again for the passing formation.
So here comes Snyder on. It's going to be a direct snap to the up back. number 8, John Campbell. And Campbell breaks a couple tackles, and Campbell down the sideline to the 22-yard line, brought down by number 5, Matt Ambers. And a couple flags come flying, and we might have a face mask.
Well, you're going to have a face mask tacked onto the end of this, but I'll tell you what, that was a nice call that time. Excellent call. Line back up in the shotgun, and Florida State does this probably as good as anybody.
Foul. Defense on the tackle.
There you see the call by the referee.
15 yards.
There you had your face mask call. They're going to tack 15 more, but I tell you what, an outstanding call. Like I say, Florida State runs that a lot, and used to, and you'll see the snap. Well, we missed the snap, but see the ball clear, break through the line of scrimmage, and a pretty nice job. Had a couple of backs down there. Here you'll see number 5, there you go. There you see it. He had it around the 10 there and got some face mask, and that was Matt Ambers. So good call by the officials right down there with him. But a nice call by Frank Hepler and or Coach Snyder, whichever one's calling these offensive series.
So the ball sits on the 11-yard line. They can get a first down, the Colonels. And this time the ball's pitched to O'Neal Sandiford. And how about Nick Hill having a monster game here in the first half, bringing down Sandiford for no gain.
Well, he really is. Nick Hill's done an outstanding job, and I tell you what, the big man is coming across, and he is a big man, but he's having a great ball game. They ran right at him that time, but more than just Hill having a good game, Cooper City is still putting 4 and 5 people. There you see Snyder bobbled the handoff right there, was able to still get the pitch, which was a little bit further out. And here you'll see Nick Hill comes in, but you'll see there's 4 or 5 other Cooper City players right in there on it, so that helps out.
This time it will be an end around to Kevin Beard, and Beard trying to hang on, eventually brought down by number 59 from the Cooper City Cowboys, Kevin Bates, the defensive end, but not after Beard will pick up about 7 yards, or excuse me, pick up about 8 yards and set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, yeah, another nice call that time. A little play action. They take to the up back and handed it off on a little bit wider play, and just a pretty good job on the running by Beard that time.
So the ball sits on the 2-yard line. They only need 1 yard to have a 1st and goal from the 1. Watch the ball! Watch the ball! Under center. He has 3 men in the backfield. Who will get the carry? They'll go to O'Neal Sandiford, and Sandiford will go into the end zone. Touchdown, Colonels!
Well, Sandiford did a nice job that time. Looked like he might be stopped short even of the first down, but just leg strength and was able to go right on across. And so a good job running that time by Sandiford. Again, we've seen, there you see the call by the official. I'm not sure what the penalty was. We do have a flag. And you see number 70 out there for Plantation. I believe that's Ron Golub, probably the defensive captain, trying to make the call. So I believe it's going to go against Plantation. Looks like Snyder's waving it off.
Well, exactly, so the coach goes against Cooper City, and Snyder was going to call it.
Right, I'm sorry. Snyder's waving it off, holding on Cooper City.
So with the penalty declined, 14-13 is our score. Out comes Cyril Intriago to attempt the extra point to tie this game up. And what a wild ride it's been here in the first half from Cooper City High School. It's down, the kick is up, but everything will be waved off.
False start. Offense.
And a false start will be addressed against the Colonels. So for the second time in this game, Intriago is going to have to attempt an extra point of 25 yards.
Yeah, Intriago's having a tough time trying to make a kick for an extra point. Everything he's doing is going for field goals. So maybe in a little while he'll get to kick a normal extra point.
It's down, the kick is up. Well, a little bit confusion there for the officials, but eventually they get it together, and it is good. Intriago flips the upright, and that will tie this game up at 14 apiece. We're going to take a quick break here on the Continental High School Game of the Week with the score all knotted up. Cooper City 14, Plantation 14. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wondered what big things? Then you wanna watch Amazing Kids. It's a new show just for you.
And welcome back to the Continental Cablevision Channel 19 High School Game of the Week, featuring the Plantation Colonels and the Cooper City Cowboys. And it's been a great first half of football here from Cooper City High School. Cooper City was able to get on top of Plantation 14-0, but Plantation has climbed back into it and tied this game at 14. Intriago, this time, kicked a low line drive kick, and will be handled by number 33, Darren Jones. And Jones looking for a seam, gets a super block, and Jones is down the sideline. Jones is cutting it back, only the one man can catch him, and that is the kicker. Forget about it. Darren Jones, touchdown Cowboys! Are you kidding me?
Sean, I tell you what, Feliciano went back, looked like he was about ready to take the ball. Turned back around, saw Jones. It hit the ground. Jones picks it up, makes a clean sweep. And I tell you what, we're going to pick this up on the replay. I'm sure we got this. There was a great block on the 30-yard line that sprung him open. And I wasn't real sure. I think it might have been number 42, Danny Stark, who turned around. Watch this kick. You'll see it hit the ground. Here it goes, hit the ground. Everybody's fielded the ball really good coming off the ground. Here you come. Looks like we're going to have a tackle. Turns it. Watch the block come up. Number 42 didn't allow him, and we had another one. I cannot see who did that. But I'll tell you what, that was two great blocks, and then just an outstanding run by number 33 there for Cooper City, who just turned it on, I believe, Jones, and that was just outstanding.
Well, Redfin splits the uprights, makes the score 21-14. I don't know if the guys in the truck can get another replay of that. There was a super crackback block that happened about the 50-yard line. I don't know if we can slow this down, but it was absolutely the most crushing, one of the most crushing hits we've seen all year.
Sure was. Here we go again.
It's going to come up. You'll see 42 come up and make a nice line,
makes a
right
good job.
now.
Knocks off two. Watch the right-hand side. Watch this block coming here. Here you go, and this could be one of the key blocks. Stepped up in, believe number 50 or 60, and I got to look to see. But
number 50, Marty Hughes, the 5'11", 180-pound linebacker.
It was either Hughes or Brian Rubens, because I don't know which number it was. It was number 50, we've just been told, and I tell you what, that broke it loose. Number 42, you didn't see a great block, but he knocked two guys off that had a chance at the angles. Then number 50 steps up in there and makes the block, and then from there on, I tell you, Jones did a great job, cut it back across the field. Intriago tried to make the tackle, but just couldn't catch up with it.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Darren Jones probably had his heart in his stomach after he fumbled that ball that allowed Plantation to score, and now he comes back as the hero. This time, Willie Webb handles the ball for the Colonels, and he will be dropped at the 20-yard line. So momentum has been shifting back and forth, first with the Cowboys after Amaya blocked the punt from Sean Thompson, the punter for the Colonels, and returned it 40 yards for a touchdown. But then back come the Colonels. Darren Jones, the fullback, fumbles the ball. Claude Stewart picks it up, scores a touchdown from 40 yards away, cuts it to 14-7. The Colonels drive down 14-14, and Coach, we pretty much felt, okay, here we go, Plantation comes back. But Darren Jones showing some of the best guts we've seen from any high school player this year. He made a fumble, but then comes up huge before the end of the half. How many times can a player redeem himself that quickly? 91 yards, and the score now stands 21-14, Cooper City in the lead. This time the ball will be handed off to Sandiford, and Sandiford will be brought down. Looks like the tackle was led by number 59, Kevin Bates of the Cowboys.
Well, and Bates has been active tonight, too. We've called his name out on several times. But I tell you what, how many times can you redeem yourself? You only have to redeem yourself one time when you run it back 90, 95 yards like Jones just did. And I tell you, that was just a beautiful run all the way around. So Cooper City, I tell you, they came out here to play football, and they're right in the thick of it. They're in the hunt.
2nd and 6 this time, looking for Beard on the fade pattern. He was covered by Amaya. Snyder overthrew him just a tad, and that'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Well, Beard's been coming out and doing a pretty good job all the way around. But I tell you what, Amaya was there. It would have been a big game for him, and Amaya was right on him. And we've seen that tonight. Amaya, a few minutes ago, or Amherst, I can't remember which one it was at this point, made the layout and the big interception. So, you know, Plantation's putting the ball up in the air right now. They obviously don't want to go in with 2.5 minutes to go, being down by 7. So, big 3rd down play at this point in time, and then probably going to go back up to the air.
Out of the gun. This time, Snyder looking, and overthrows his intended receiver, number 18, Sean Noonan. Noonan appeared to be wide open, but Snyder unable to connect, and out will come the punting unit for the Colonels.
Well, you know, Noonan did look like he was open, but I'll tell you what, Humberto Amaya made a nice recovery on that. He had dropped back. Wasn't going to let anything beat him deep, and that's you know, you're seeing both teams tonight. They're well coached, both sides. He wasn't going to get bit deep. That's a long throw. We talked about the out pattern. Amaya came back in and was right there for the coverage on the pass, and again, like I say, Snyder just a little bit high.
Thompson slipped, able to get the kickoff after a great rush from the Cowboys, and the ball will be down by number 52 from the Colonels, that being Bill Kiefaber. And the Cowboys, now they have some time here. The ball sits nearly at midfield, right on their own 48-yard line. 2:11 remains here in the first half. The score stands Cooper City 21, Plantation 14. And if someone told us that Cooper City would score 21 points in the first half, I would have been as shocked as anybody, and right now I am shocked. They have come out ready to play football, and all the credit in the world has to go to Coach Snyder and his staff. But remember, it is a four-quarter football game.
Yeah, it is. It sure is, and this has been a great first half. You couldn't have anything better than what we've seen so far tonight.
So Waters this time back to pass, looking and finding number 90 is tight end Josh Kay, and Kay refusing to go down, picking up a couple more yards. That'll go for 22 yards. Nice play there, Waters to Kay.
John, I'm surprised. Well, look at this. You've got 2 minutes and 10 or 15 seconds to go. You're up 21-14 against, like you say, the number 5 team in the state. You would think most coaches would be sitting back saying, hey, let's hold the ball. There's the replay. No, they don't. They come in, put the big tight end over the middle there. That's about a 25-yard pickup. Cooper City goes to the air, picks it up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They are going for everything tonight.
Waters has completed his last 5 passes. Now Waters back to pass, and that will be incomplete. Waters pass just a little bit too low, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. And the next question you have to ask is, how in the world is Cooper City 2-7?
Well, I tell you what, and you know, you made a comment in the very beginning. They lost, 5 ball games by 1 point. So, you know, they may be, at least in this half of play, they're the best 2-7 team probably anywhere in the state of Florida. Because I'll tell you, they look like champions. And again, I got to go back to Terry Snyder's play calling right here. You're comfortable to go up by 7. They're throwing the ball. They want to get 6 more points for the halftime.
This time, Feliciano is going to get the carry. Feliciano picking up enough yardage for the first down, and Feliciano has been running hard tonight. That was his 13th carry of the ball game.
Well, I tell you, Feliciano's done a good job, and he's getting some big holes up there. They're trying to read that, and again, as Terry told us in the very beginning, they're running that option. They're not blocking anybody outside the tackle. So here you'll see him coming up. You saw number 66 and 75. Both I think that was Parker, and 75 was Kirby. Nice block, pulling out, hitting somebody, and Feliciano was able to just step up in the hole there. You know, what do you say? 21, you got a minute to go in the game, and Cooper City's threatening and knocking on the door again.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Feliciano, the ball carrier.
Well, I believe that was the case that time. They went to the well one too many, but I think what they might have been doing at that point in time, they may have been looking to get field position.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see, because there might have been a fumble on the play, and now flags come out. There was some sort of skirmish after the play. We'll have to wait till our official sorts this out and explains what happened.
Holding, Black King, decline, fumble, offense, first down, White.
So there you go. There was a fumble on the play. Plantation does recover the holding penalty, obviously declined. So the Colonels will come out with just a little bit under a minute to try to tie this game up, or at least put some points on the board.
Well, you wonder at this point in time now. We've seen what Terry Snyder did. Terry came out ready to throw the ball, trying to get 6 more points, challenging every way. What will Frank Epler do? We saw a gutsy call in the overtime against Dillard when he went for the win and not for the other overtime. So what's he going to call from here?
So Snyder, it's going to be a draw play this time to John Campbell, and Campbell will be brought down, maybe a gain of a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9, and I believe they're going to let the clock run. No, timeout from the Colonels, so apparently they have designs on marching down the field here with 46.7 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, I'll tell you what, that wasn't a bad call that time. That was a draw play, and not a bad call. Cooper City, if you look at the way they were lined up, they dropped back. They're not in a prevent, but they're playing awfully loose. They figured Snyder would come out and be putting the ball up in the air. Obviously, nice time to call the draw because if he breaks through the second level there, hey, it's one-on-one with the corners, and that just becomes something that everybody's got a chance. Plantation is not content to sit anymore, I think, than Cooper City as far as this game is concerned. They know they're in a dogfight, and they know they've got to do everything they can and pick up their pace of play.
Well, there were some factors coming into this football game which might lend you to believe that this would be a blowout. One of them, Plantation, just sheer dominance of the county this year. They are undefeated. They come off a huge win against Dillard, 34-31. They are the state-ranked number 5 team. So, and you take a look at the record of Cooper City, 1-point losses or not, 2-7 to a high school kid. They see the paper, they think that they're a lousy football team. So you might understand the Colonels coming out. We'll have to see how battle-tested they are if they try to come back for this one. Now, number 81, Fritz Lorson, the intended receiver. Snyder once again just a little bit wide, and we've seen him inaccurate all night, and that's something we haven't seen all year from him.
No, we really haven't. Snyder's probably, in my mind, one of the better quarterbacks in the county. We've seen him throw, and we've seen him throw with great precision. Might be off just a little bit tonight. The ball seems to be rising on him a little bit and maybe coming out of his hand a little quick. But going to be an interesting call coming up after this play because they don't want to turn the ball back over to Cooper City.
This time Snyder looking deep. He has a man, Roy Artiega, with a super catch. No, they are going to say it was incomplete. That was very close to coming down with 2 feet. But Artiega nearly made an outstanding catch. It was very close, but the official ruled he was still juggling the ball. It comes loose, and that brings up 4th down.
We may have this on the instant replay, but this is going to be a big call right now for Frank Epler. 33 seconds to go. If he doesn't punt at this point in time, Cooper City stops him from the first down. Cooper City's got a shot at a field goal right here. So you're going to be looking at, looks like they're coming in with a punt team. They're backing off. Here you'll see the replay. This was an outstanding effort. Pretty good throw. Looked like he had him beat long. All of a sudden, coverage came in. Looked like he had the ball. Comes down with it, but was juggling it on the way down. Don't know if it was a good clean catch or not.
So Thompson gets the kickoff. It's going to take a couple bounces. And eventually will go out at the 39-yard line. Number 44 for the Cooper City Cowboys. Mark Hooter decided not to touch it, which was the wise decision. So at 23 seconds remaining here in the first half, you have to imagine that the Cowboys will kneel on it and go into the half with the momentum at a 21-14 lead.
I tell you what, I don't think the Cowboys are going to kneel on it. I think they're going in right now. We saw it in that last series. I think he's going to look at it, and he's going to air the ball out and go down. His defense has done a great job tonight on stopping Plantation. So if he does turn it over at this point in time, he's got confidence, and he's proven it that he's going to go. I just would be real surprised to see him sit out at this point in time.
So out comes the Cooper City offense. Tommy Waters under center. And he does have 3 wideouts. This time it's going to be out to Mark Hooter. And Hooter looking, finding his man, number 85, Mike Cohen. And Cohen looking to break a tackle, gets to the 31-yard line. How about that?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's 11 seconds left to go, and all they need right now, I don't know the depth of their field goal kicker. Snyder could throw an out pattern right now. If they get the clock stopped, pick up 5 yards, well, he's going to call a timeout. Look at this right here. You got a lateral. Nice call. Outstanding call. Got the lateral. Number 44 there for Cooper City. Turns back around, throws the ball deep, and a nice job. Mark Herder, and a nice pass. 85 picks it up, goes down and sits. Nobody's there, but we saw the Plantation secondary playing up tight, challenging that time. And, hey, the big guy, number 85, Cohen, he steps down there and settles down, and he's got a first down. Almost broke that for another 6 points.
Cooper City has 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. You remember they had to burn one earlier when Tommy Waters was injured for 1 play. Coach Snyder decided to use the timeout to have his backup quarterback take a couple snaps. So therefore, only 1 timeout remaining for the Cowboys. 11.9 seconds remaining.
Well, this is a big decision. He's got one timeout to go. He probably needs, at this point in time, the ball looks like it's spotted on about the 30. So you're looking at a 45, 50-yard, 52-yard field goal.
Now, Coach, taking into account Hooters' pass as well, Cooper City has completed their last 6 passes in a row, so they've been able to riddle the secondary of the Colonels.
Well, I think they have, and I think the reason they're being able to do that is the fact that they're an option team. They're having to make reads. Those linebackers and everybody's got to read that dive play. They got to come out and read the pitch and read the quarterback. When Cooper City throws the ball, then the corners have got to make something happen. So it's pretty tough.
This time the ball is going to be intercepted. The ball is intercepted by, I'm unable to get a number 19, Robert Crum makes the interception. So as soon as we say they complete 6 in a row, they come out and throw an interception. But you see the aggressiveness from Perry Snyder. The only down point to that is if the ball could have been intercepted by Crum and run back 80 yards for a touchdown. We can take a look at this one more time. That would have been devastating to the Cowboys.
Well, it could. And this was a nice read. Looked like the ball got up on him a little bit high. Overthrew his big receiver there, but a nice interception, a terrific interception that time, and I believe that's, number 19, and he had to go up high for the ball. Pulled him back in. Of course, what did we see last week, last time we did a Plantation game? We saw the big interception that saved the game by the linebacker, Albert Sellis. So there you've got number 19, Robert Crum, coming in, picks up a big reception or interception. If they catch that ball there and they make the tackle timeout, they've got a field goal.
So the Colonels looking to pick up some points. Snyder looking for Noonan, but that ball will be well out of bounds. So if you just happen to tune into the Continental Cablevision Game of the Week, this is not a misprint. The Cooper City Cowboys lead the Plantation Colonels 21-14 at the half. Coach, your assessment of the first half.
Well, I'll tell you what, the only thing you can say about the first half right now is that the Cowboys came out, fired up, ready to go. They told us prior to the game, this is going to be a game. Now, they came out, and they've done almost everything right. They've made some mistakes. They've had a turnover that cost them a touchdown. They've made a couple mistakes, but they're able to overcome those mistakes, and they're up by 7 points. On the other hand, Plantation, I'm watching them walk off the field. They're a little bit dismayed. They're looking at themselves, and they're thinking, how can this be? What they're going to do, though, is they're going to go over and they're going to talk just like everybody. They're going to say, hey, Cooper City plays us tough one half every year. We're going to come back in the second half. We will dominate. We'll be able to come up on them. So it would be real interesting if we could be in their locker rooms at this point in time to hear what they're going to say to these players.
So we've reached halftime here at Cooper City High School with the score. Cooper City in front of the Colonels 21-14. We'll be back after the half.
Folks, if I could get just a minute of your time, I'd like to make an announcement. We've got a new TV show. It's called Garage Sale. What a great idea. We're the video marketplace of South Florida. We send a camera people right to your house, videotape what you have to sell. Yeah, you can sell it on TV. A lot of great things you're going to see on the show. Check out our show times, Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday evening at 5 o'clock p.m. on Channel 19. It's a great show. Get videoed or just watch the show. See you later.
The headlines are out. Kathy Rollins of the show Headliners is a huge success. All the local celebrities are spotlighted each and every week. From past fame to soon-to-be famous, Kathy Rollins gets to the heart of each guest. Headliners is television with a personal touch. Finally, a show for and about people in South Florida. Every Monday evening at 7:30, only on Channel 19.
I'm Michael Dorn. I play the Klingon warrior Worf on Star Trek The Next Generation. Worf spent years getting an education Starfleet required. Now, he's a skilled and respected member of the elite Enterprise crew.
Worf to Enterprise. Go ahead, sir. Beam me up.
To reach your goals in the 21st century, you'll need a good education. So be patient, stay in school, and graduate.
Brought to you by the Air Force, because we know the value of a good education.
And welcome back to the Continental Cablevision Channel 19 High School Game of the Week, featuring the Plantation Colonels and the Cooper City Cowboys from Cooper City High School. We've just had the opening kickoff of the second half, and Andrew Burke returns it to the 28-yard line, and that's where the Colonels will begin their first offensive possession of the second half. If you're just tuning in, the score might be just of a shocker. That's right, Cooper City leads Plantation 21-14. Let's see what adjustments the Colonels will make. The first play of the game shows number 7, Harold Walden, or the second half, I should say. Walden tries to go up the left side, picks up about 2, and that brings up 2nd and 8.
Well, I tell you what, go back to the kickoff real quick, and Plantation almost broke that. Number 24, I believe, for Cooper City, which is Rich Evans, actually saved that from being a return. Well, at that time, we see him come off a little power play, and I believe that was Galab that came out and made the lead block, number 70 there for Plantation. So we might see a little bit more power game out of Plantation.
Once again, Walden is the ball carrier, and he's going to pick up a couple yards. Marty Hughes, the linebacker from Cooper City, one of a couple Cowboys in on the tackle. Very close to a first down, will depend on the mark. They need to get to it looks to be the 44-yard line, or the 43, somewhere in between there for a first down. But they're going to mark this ball back a couple yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 2. So where Walden was and where they marked the ball were two different places. Those make it 3rd and 2 for the Colonels.
Well, actually, they were lucky they didn't get a flag that time because those linemen were behind pushing, and you can't do that with a ball carrier.
This time, Walden, the ball carrier, breaks into the secondary, picks up the first down, brought down by number 44, Mark Tudor, and he gets to the 50-yard line. Walden does. That's a 9-yard carry and a first down.
Well, you're seeing for Cooper City right now, you're seeing a lot of the tackles being made. You'll get the replay coming up. You'll see that he breaks up real nice here. Good job that time. Good job on the block there. I believe that was Bavette that made the block on that right side that sprung him. But when you see it, your corners and your free safeties up making the tackles, you know they're picking up big yardage up against you up front.
So there was a timeout, official timeout, I should say, and we're back underway. Snyder on a 1st and 10 gives the ball to the fullback, number 8, John Campbell. Campbell will pick up 2, and that'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Well, that time Campbell made a nice job running. I believe couldn't quite pick up the number, but I think on Cooper City it was 76. Matt Fritzen that came in and made the tackle and almost caught him at the line of scrimmage. But the offensive line for Plantation is beginning to step up and take a little control. Frank Hepler's gone back a little bit to what we saw early in the year, though. Going back to that power game, working on that running game up inside those tackles.
Well, there was a definite problem, and there you see number 8, John Campbell, picking up 17 yards. But number 76, Matt Fritikin, stood up, the defensive tackle, looking at the sideline, apparently had an equipment problem. He was standing up instead of being in a down position. Snyder very alertly snapped the ball, and Walden ran right to where Fritikin was standing up.
Well, he really did, and I'll tell you what, again, it goes back to what we said. There you see it. Here you got number 44. That's the free safety coming up. Theodore coming up having to make the tackle. And when the free safety's making it, normally that's a 10 or 12-yard pickup.
Another first down for the Colonels. This time, number 8 carries the ball once again. John Campbell, the workhorse on this drive all of a sudden. He'll pick up 3, 2nd and 7.
Pretty nice job that time. And like we say, not Cooper City, excuse me, Plantation has gone back to what we talked about. This is what got them up there into the game that they're in, and this is what got the record they had. They've gone back to that running game, to the power game. They're taking a little pressure off Snyder, giving him a chance to relax a little, hand the ball off, probably come back when they need him to throw the ball. But they're back into the power game, and that offensive line is a good one.
This time, number 7, Harold Walden, gets the carry. He's going to fall forward for maybe a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 6.
Well, third down play a minute ago, we saw him break up the middle for about 18 yards. So at this point in time, the Cooper City defense seems like they're just a little bit sluggish. And the Plantation offense, that offensive line, that big front that they've got that's played so well for them all year, is starting to come off that ball and give those running backs a little bit of a sink. You look at that Cooper City defense in that 4-4, they're playing up a little tighter this time with those linebackers. So when they get to the second level, there's a little bit of movement.
Come on, Face. Come on, Face. 3rd and a long 6 for the Colonels. Snyder hands the ball off. John Campbell breaks into the secondary. Another first down for the Colonels.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not just a first down. That's about a 15 or 17-yard pickup. That time, Plantation set trips out to the far side. Cooper City kind of backed off, looking for the passing play coming. Here we'll see it coming up on the replay. Looked like Snyder was going to set back to throw, made the quick handoff, and just a nice run. I thought when he first broke through there, he might be able to get all the way. But again, number 44, that's the free safety, Mark Huter, who had to step up and make the tackle.
And now there's a timeout on the field. The timeout will be used by the Cooper City defense. Apparently want to maybe get a little break. The coaches can talk to the players. Try to
well, at this point in
organize
time,
themselves with the Colonels opening up with the stride.
Yeah, you had a mistake here just a minute ago. You had Plantation came out, set trips out on the far side away from the press box into their own bench. The thing about it is, when they came out, Cooper City had a linebacker that went out there, and there wasn't anybody in. I think that's what happened. You had a linebacker go out on those trips to be able to drop into coverage. Well, that opened a big hole, and that's where Plantation came. Cooper City's got to be mindful first. Those inside backers have got to read that back. They've got to be able to step up in there and make the read on the back. And at this point in time, the Cooper City defensive front is going to have to come back in the way they were earlier and come off that ball just a little bit faster. But Plantation came out, went back to the old game plan, and doing a nice job moving the ball down the field this time.
When play resumes, the ball will be at the Cooper City 12-yard line. First and 10 for the Colonels. Snyder under center. Walden once again in at tailback. And Walden will be the ball carrier. And he is going to be brought down in a hurry. We'll have to take a look through a number of brought down. Looks like number 76, Matt Pritikin, with the tackle.
Well, it did look like it. It looked like Matt Ambers, number 5, came up and helped on that. So they're mixing up their calls out on the defense, and maybe that timeout settled them down just a little bit. But they're mixing up the calls a little bit. We've seen different stunts coming. We've seen different things they're doing to try to get a man free on that line.
Although it's early in the second half, this is a huge drive for the Colonels. They really need to put some points on the board. This time, number 8, John Campbell with the carry. And he's going to slice forward, looks to get to the 8-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 5. And that'll bring up a third and a short 5 or a long 4, depending on if you're looking at the play half full or half empty.
Well, here you see it coming up. Nice, again, they're going to that quick handoff. The running backs are doing a pretty good job cutting back. Number 76, I believe, was Pritikin that we saw make the tackle that time. But the running backs, the line's doing a nice job of it looks like zone boxing there and getting their heads in front of somebody and giving those backs the time.
This time O'Neal Sandiford with the carry. And Sandiford looks to be stopped just short of a first down. Really will come down to the mark. Snyder now looking at the placement of the ball, and it is going to be well short of a first down. Only give Sandiford about a yard. Very difficult from our press box position to tell depth.
Well, it is. One thing that surprised me that time is I never saw Sandiford go down, and I didn't really see his forward motion get stopped. And again, you've got a veteran crew out there tonight, and they've done a nice job. This has been a well-played game and a clean game, so they're right on top of it.
On fourth down, Colonels go for it. The pass complete. Touchdown, Colonels. Kevin Beard able to make the catch and sneak inside the pylon. Gutsy call on a fourth down. Colonels get the touchdown, and that's a huge drive for the Colonels.
Well, it really is. This is an outstanding drive. You got 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 44 seconds. But watch the catch this time. Beard goes out, and again, this is where Snyder comes in. He's got the ball right on the money, throws it the only place he can. He throws it to the outside and down. Watch Beard sidestep. He's trying to make it into that end zone. He gets his footing, able to get those feet just inside the pylon, and just does a nice job, an outstanding job by Snyder with a pass, and Beard on staying inbound.
Well, for the third consecutive time, there's a penalty.
Ball, encroachment, defense, half the distance.
And this time, it was
defense, half the distance.
That was against number 21, James Penny, who was trying to come in from the side and just jumped just a tad bit early. So half the distance, Intriago out to handle the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So this game is tied at 21. The most impressive part of that, a drive of over 6 minutes for the Colonels. So not only did they go down and score the touchdown, they pounded the Cowboys into submission by running the football.
Well, they did. This is something we saw early in the year when we did the first game. Plantation has probably one of the best offensive fronts in the county. Tonight they came out, looked like they were just a little bit off-key, maybe the opening week.
Right, right. He's turned right. Just like it started up. Score on 3. 1, 2, 3.
There you see the special teams coach making the calls out for special teams. Now, a minute ago, we saw a big play. In fact, we see a couple big plays tonight on special teams, but Plantation plays this little kick. You see them in the huddle. They run up toward the ball. One of these days, I keep hoping he's going to kick that thing, and we'll see what really happens. Cooper City's lined up to defend that, though. And they'll probably kick the ball over to about the 30-yard line with a high kick. They've got a lot of speed on that far side going down for this kick. So if they don't call that fair catch, again, we're going to see one of these times them pick it up and go for a touchdown, too.
Well, you'd have to assume the last man to see this ball will be Darren Jones, number 33. He already has a 91-yard kickoff return. And as soon as I say it, Jones is the man who has the ball. And Jones trying once again to turn the corner, but this time will be brought down in a hurry. And flags, I believe, have come out.
Well, I tell you what, they were trying to get to the same place, and that's a tough call. They set the wall to the Cooper City bench, and setting it over here, Jones fielded it over between the hash and the 15-yard line, the out of bounds. So he had a long way to go to get to the wall. A minute ago, we saw him able to get to the wall. When he got to the wall, he had big running room. Coach Snyder Perry Snyder set the wall again to the Cooper City bench, and Jones just couldn't get in behind it.
Well, I saw the referee throw something. Actually, it was a marker to mark where Jones went down. So no flag, and out comes the Cooper City offense for the first time in the second half. The ball sits on their own 28-yard line. Tommy Waters under center for the Cowboys, and immediately Feliciano is the ball carrier. He's going to find a hole and fall forward for 2 yards.
Well, Feliciano that time, the hole opens up real quick, and if you watch the blocking scheme that Cooper City's got, they're coming off real quick, trying to get Feliciano to break. Had a little bit of room if he could have kept his feet. He got his feet tied up in his big tackle there and came down really on his own.
Second and 8 for the Cowboys. This time Waters back to pass, looks for his man. He finds number 1, Julian Beckford. And Beckford makes the catch and will be very close to a first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Beckford did a good job after he caught the ball. That was pretty good coverage there and pretty tight. Beckford did a pretty good job of getting an additional yard. They're going to measure right now. Here we'll see the pass. Waters is doing a good job putting a nice touch on the ball and getting the ball off. But his offensive front, there you see a nice catch by the young receiver, number 1. Came out and did a good job. That was Beckford. Picked up 2 or 3 extra yards, and that was on a pretty good coverage. So, but you see number 12 there doing a good job. Waters is putting a nice touch on the ball, but you've got to look at the protection he's got. Looks like he's going to a 3-step drop. You've got to look at the protection he's got, because I'll tell you what, they're not putting pressure on him. They're not able to get to him.
There you see the score. It's all knotted up at 21 apiece. 4:46 remains in the third quarter. While we have this timeout for a measurement, we'll take a look at the Cooper City offense. Up front for Cooper City is Brant Kirby, John Pace, Chris Warren, Brody Parker, and Keith Nash. What a fine job they've done. And you can see right there, it will be... Well, they're having some problems with the game. They're still taking a look here. First down for the Cowboys. So Beckford with the super job, able to fall forward for that extra yard, picks up a first down for Cooper City. The wide receivers tonight are Mike Cohen and Ross Adele, the tight end, and these are good ones. Stands at 6'3", 230 pounds. The lead junior is Josh Kay. Then we talked about the quarterback, Tommy Waters, and in the backfield, Jason Feliciano at fullback, and the halfback is Darren Jones. Feliciano this time is the ball carrier, and he breaks through, and Feliciano picks up 13 yards, great running by Jason Feliciano, the fullback. And that was his 16th carry of the ball game, the workhorse for the Cowboys.
John, I hope we got, I tell you what, I hope we got this on replay, because Fred Stirrup, number 51, and I think Keith Haber were in there, and I thought they had him locked down. Watch this right here. He goes in, looks, I thought he was going down right there. Kept his feet moving and picked up an extra 8 or 10 yards. Cooper City is playing on a lot of emotion tonight. Not that they're not doing anything right. They're doing everything right. But they've got a lot of emotion built up in them, and they're really in this game to try to win.
Well, the tight end, Josh Case, switches from the left side to the right side of the line. Feliciano, it will be the ball carrier. And, Coach, it seems to me they keep using Feliciano, and they've done it for now almost for 3 quarters. You have to think they're setting up for something maybe a little bit later where they'll pull the ball away from the fullback and pitch to Darren Jones on the outside, trying to get those linebackers to commit just a half second early to the fullback, and that would set up some room on the sideline for the fullback.
Well, I think so, too. How many times has Waters carried the ball? Has he carried the ball yet tonight?
As far as I have 1 carry for no yards.
Well, and this is what I'm looking at. They seem to be at this point in time, they're really keying Feliciano. They're keying the up back. And I tell you, Waters tried to carry one time, and they had that fumble. And it looks to me like if he tucks the ball down and turns it up, he's going to have some running room.
This time we talked a little bit about trickery, and here's number 44, Mark Hooter. He gets the ball. He's been the man on the trick plays all night. But this time, the Plantation defense, well coached, did not go with the flow. They stayed home, and they made the tackle. Nice play, and that'll be a loss of 4.
Well, he really did, and that was Bill Keepaber, and he comes in. He doesn't get the tackle, but I tell you what, he gets close enough to him that it takes number 44 off balance. You'll see right here, 44's free, tries to make the cut, but he just can't do it, and that was a tough one. That was Mark Huter, and again, Cooper City's pulling out all the stops. I think I'm watching, Florida State with Bobby Ruski's going here tonight.
So once again, the tight end moves from the left to the near side. Waters back to pass. And Waters is in all sorts of trouble. He cannot find his intended receiver, and he will be eventually brought down by number 19, Robert Crum.
Well, we're seeing the other side of the bench. They're signaling wanting a fumble on this, and they're signaling. We haven't seen anything by the official yet, but we'll see what's coming up. First time Waters has been actually in a clinch here tonight, and he had good pressure coming in. The offensive front from Cooper City was not able to contain. Here we'll see Waters is going on out. It looked like a takeaway, but I think the takeaway came when they were down on the ground, so that doesn't count. The Waters, the young quarterback, was ruled down. Oh, my Lord, look at this.
Handle the punt, but the punt goes over his head, and then nearly Watts is kicking it out of bounds.
Well, smart move. I tell you what, smart move. He knew he couldn't feel that ball. He knew he had 6 points coming against him. Got a touchback. That's 2. They're still in it.
This is a safety. The foul is for illegal kicking, and the end zone results in a safety. Kick from the 20.
Well, Rendon does the smart thing after realizing that he had no chance of picking up that ball and getting off any sort of punt or even trying to pick up the ball and cause further damage. He kicks the ball out of the end zone, and that will give Plantation the safety and the lead 23-21. Unfortunately for Rendon, it took him the second kick to do it. He missed the first one, and that could have been real dangerous.
Well, he really did, and I tell you what, though, that was heads-up play by Rendon, because if he doesn't get on that ball and get it out of the end zone, he probably felt like he couldn't scoop it up. If he'd have scooped the ball up and ran out of the end zone, something like this, he wouldn't have gotten the penalty. But on the kick, kicking the ball like that, he does draw the penalty. But I'll tell you again, that was heads-up play, because that snap was way over his head. Looked like that time that the center did something we haven't seen him do so far, and he kind of hunched up real high and really went to put some power in that ball. He didn't want that thing to be fumbled, so consequently just a big mistake. And as many big plays as we've seen tonight on special teams, again, a big play on a breakdown of special teams.
There you see Andrew Burke. He already has 1 kickoff return in this football game. That was to open up the second half. Also back will be number 11, Willie Webb, to handle the punt, or actually the kick, from number 7, Russell Rendon.
John, you got to remember, too, Cooper City at this point in time is kicking into a pretty strong wind.
So the kick is up, and it'll be handled by Willie Webb, who's supposed to have signaled for a fair catch, but apparently is going to keep it. And Webb is down the sideline and will be brought down at the 40-yard line. But, Coach, about 25 yards to the 40-yard line, and that's where the Colonels will begin their offensive series.
Well, yeah, I thought so, too. Webb put his hand up in the air, and I thought he signaled for a fair catch. We'll see this. They obviously didn't call it for a fair catch. Well, we missed the signal there because it was before the ball came down, but I thought he had called for a fair catch, and it kind of looked like Cooper City kind of held up just a little bit, knowing it was a fair catch. Webb took off running. Hey, whatever it did, it worked because it was a nice return by Webb, and it's got Plantation knocking on the door on Cooper City's 40-yard line, so opportunity for Plantation. Because I believe if you look out on the field, you see the Plantation players. What's going on is the officials at this point in time, I think, are talking to, well, I'm not real sure what's going on because we just had a penalty and they may have won the argument. We're going to see. There you saw the official. I missed his sign. There you saw the official, but I think we're going to have the call that it was a fair catch call because there was a huddle on the field, and this is a big, big call if that's the call.
We'll have to wait and see where the ball is marked.
John, I'll tell you what, number 53, now I'm not real sure. Number 53 was the young man from Cooper City that was out there with the official. So we'll watch and see. Here comes the official.
So it looks as if the ball will be marked at the 32-yard line. And that's where Webb caught the ball and made the fair catch. So that's where Plantation will begin their offensive series. And the first play of this offensive series goes to number 9, O'Neal Sandiford, who picks up about a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
If that's where he caught it, I'm not real sure on that rule, but I thought there would have been a penalty, probably a theft. So I didn't.
Just from the point of the fair catch.
From the point of the fair catch. So, but number 53 for Cooper City did a good job. I hope he's going to be a future law student down here at Nova University because he did a good job on the field arguing that point.
So this time, Beard is going to get the ball, and Beard is looking for a lane, and Beard breaks it into the secondary. And Beard will get down to the 25-yard line. Nice play there from the Colonels and Kevin Beard.
Yes, it certainly was. It looked like that play might be doomed when he came out. It looked like they were having a little bit of trouble turning the corner, but once Beard was able to turn it and head north and south, he did an outstanding job. Here you'll see it. There's the handoff. Beard's trying to get outside. It looks like there's a little trouble. Once he turns right there, it's a foot race, and he does a nice job. We've seen him run before. He's a strong running back, a good-looking running back. Did a nice job there, and again, big play for Plantation, and the running game for Plantation is what works well.
41 yards on the carry for Kevin Beard, and that makes a 1st and 10 for the Colonels.
On the inside of that Cooper City defensive front has played tough tonight. They're not letting them get much yardage up the middle. That was a nice job that time. They picked up about a yard. Pretty good job defensively, but you got to go back to that play by Beard, which was an outstanding run.
So after Sandiford picks up a yard, brings up 2nd and 9. The ball sits on the 25-yard line of the Cowboys, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So 9 unanswered points here in the 3rd quarter for the Colonels, and the score stands after 3, 23-21, Plantation in the lead. We'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this. Well, welcome back to the 4th quarter of the Continental Cable Vision Channel 19 High School Game of the Week, and it has been a super football game. The score stands right now 23-21, Plantation in the lead. And there you see the Cooper City bench, and they are hoping for some sort of break, something that'll get them back into this football game. They're only down by 2, but the second half has been dominated by the Colonels. 9 unanswered points, and the Colonels are looking for more. But a bad snap, some just all-around discombobulation, and we might have a false start of some sort. Looks as if the center was a count too late when he snapped the ball and everyone was moving but him.
Well, I'll tell you what, this may be the best thing that could happen to Plantation right now is to get this. There you go. You see the call. You had a false start there, but that snap was snapped, and Snyder's going to lose 10 or 15 yards, if not the ball on that play. So a break for Cooper City, or excuse me, a break for Plantation to get the penalty and to get that play blown dead before disaster sets in for them.
So that brings up 3rd and 15. We were away for one play. It was no gain, so that brings up 3rd and 15. This will be a screen pass to John Campbell. And Campbell looking to turn the corner. Super tackle made by number 21, James Penny, and that'll be just short of the first down.
Well, I tell you what, James Penny came up, looked like that was going to break big time. Penny came up, was able to make that hit, along with Marty Hughes, number 50, who stepped up in there with him to help out. Here you'll see it coming up on the replay, I believe, in just 1 second. And tremendous screenplay, set up real nice. Did it just like Cooper City, rolled out opposite, throws it back around the left side into the dance for Plantation. And looks like we've got a big game coming here in 3rd and 15. Nice tackle there. There you see number 21 come up. There you see 50 come up. So a good recovery by the Cooper City secondary.
4th and 3. The Colonels are going to go for the 4th down conversion. Sandiford, the ball carrier, and he gets the first down, stays on his feet, will get inside the 5-yard line. Super run there by O'Neal Sandiford, picking up about 13 yards.
Well, we've seen Sandiford do that many times, and I'll tell you, that's a nice run there. You'll see him cutting, and he makes the last 5 yards on his own. Here you see the handoff coming up. Sandiford steps up in there. Looks like he may go down right here. Number 45 that time for Plantation did a nice block. The tackles were missed right there, and Sandiford almost got him. I'd like to say number 45 was Albert Celeste, making a block that time. Unless I picked up the number wrong, he was in there maybe at the fullback position.
So 1st and goal from the 5 will be the Colonel's situation. The Cowboys desperately need to come up with a stop. The last 2 times that the Colonels have gone for it on 4th down, they came up with a touchdown on 1, and this time a 13-yard run to pick up the first down and put them in serious scoring position. So the Cowboys unable to stop the Colonels on 4th down situations.
Well, they have been able to stop it. The thing you got to look at now is you got 10 minutes and 3 seconds to go, and you're in the 4th quarter. So now you're going to be playing a time thing. Can you catch up if they go ahead now with 7 points?
And there you see it. The Colonels score another touchdown on O'Neal Sandiford's 5-yard touchdown run, and that'll make the score, if I can do my math, 29-21.
Well, now you got a call. Hepler's got to make. Does he go for 2?
Excuse me, Coach. There is a penalty.
Holding, offense, 10 yards.
So instead of a touchdown, we'll have 1st and goal from the 15. Big break for the Cowboys.
Well, an interesting thing now. If Plantation scores at this point in time, if they're able to take the ball down, and you're right, that's a big penalty in Plantation. But if they score, they pick up 6. Now they're up by 8. If they kick the field goal, they're up by 9. Plantation, Cooper City could come back on a drive, get a touchdown, score, could go for a win if they went for 2 and then got a field goal, or come out with a tie. So Plantation's got to consider whether they go for 1 on the extra point or go for 2 to put the pressure on Cooper City if Cooper City goes down this time.
So 1st and goal from the 15. Snyder under center. The Cowboy crowd trying to rally behind the troops. It'll be an end around to Kevin Beard, and Beard will break a tackle, get to the 10. So count a gain of 5 for Beard. 2nd and goal from the 10.
Well, that was number 54 and 99, and we've seen them tonight. 99 was Hill coming up in there, and 54 is the number I got to look up there real quick. But that was Kevin Gaffard. And you'll see here, they stop him. Beard looks like he's got a chance there. 54 comes in, makes him turn back. Now he's going to catch back up, holds him up a little bit, and help was on the way. So Plantation's in a tough situation right now. They've got to put points on the board at this point in time.
The pitch to Sandiford. He cuts inside. Looks to get to about the 6 or 5 yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 5 yard line.
Well, the Cooper City defense right now is stepping up. They're stepping up a little bit and trying to come in there and shut this drive down. Sandiford's obviously the player that can take the ball in. We've seen him run. The thing about Sandiford that I like when I see him run is he doesn't stop. He turns, he twists. Of course, as you say that, we see him pull Sandiford out. He's going to give him a little bit of a break. If they don't pick it up here, I'd certainly expect to see him come back in and run the ball again on the 4th down.
And as the coach mentioned, the score stands 23-21 with 8:52 remaining in the football game. A field goal at this point really does not help the Colonels. That would make the score 26-21, and a touchdown would still win the game for the Cowboys. So you have to think this is 4-down territory for the Colonels. Of course, the other argument is with a 2-point lead, you get the field goal and make the Cowboys score the touchdown. So there's two series of thought on this one. We'll have to wait and see what Coach Hepler wants to do. He's gone for it on 4th down 2 consecutive times. So obviously, Coach Hepler wants to put 6 on the board. 3rd and goal from the 6. Snyder back to pass, looking, and the ball is going to be underthrown, looking for Kevin Beard. Actually, he's lucky that he did underthrow the ball, because that might have been 99 yards the other way. His linebacker, number 44, the free safety, number 44, Mark Gooder, was right there, looking to take the angle away to knock it down, or maybe he didn't catch the ball.
Well, I tell you what, I like that play. I used to run that play a lot at Coconut Creek, and that's a little pick pattern. You can't run a pick pattern. And all of us coaches say we never do. But that's a little pick play with that receiver coming out. That's a nice call. That's a tough thing to defend. A little surprised to see this formation on the field right now for field goal, though.
So Intriago out to handle the 25-yard field goal. The kick is up, and it is going to be a fake, and there is going to be no chance. A beautiful defense by Cooper City, number 54, for the Cooper City Cowboys. Kevin Gazzard came flying through, made a great play, and now the Cowboys are in business, and that is a serious momentum turning play. Very surprising that Coach Hepler just didn't take the field goal, because if you don't get it, the momentum will switch right over to Cooper City.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to even see him line up in a field goal and go for the fake. You're up by 2. You're 23-21. Everybody on the Cooper City bench is sitting back saying, hey, why would he do that? Well, okay, because if Cooper City goes down at this point in time and kicks a field goal, they obviously go ahead. So it's a mixed match there, and it's just a guessing game at this point in time with both these offenses.
Well, the ball was tried to be given to the upback. That, of course, being number 2, Jason Feliciano. But Plantation has finally been picking up on that here in the second half, and they're able to jump on Feliciano, and that'll be a loss of the yard.
Well, Plantation's doing a good job. They've made a couple of adjustments here at the halftime, and maybe it's nothing more than the fact that they're stepping up their pace, too. And the defensive front and those linebackers are starting to get in and make the plays that we've seen them make all year long.
2nd and 11. Waters back to pass, looking, and will complete his pass to number 44, Mark Cooter, who's doing double duty tonight at free safety and wide receiver. Actually, I believe the pass will be incomplete. So with the incompletion, that brings up 3rd and 11.
Well, 3rd and 11, and the Plantation defense is doing a nice job. Those linebackers dropped into coverage that time really quick. They read the pass. It looked like he had a nice reception there, but just couldn't hold on to it. As he went on the ground, the ball came loose.
Waters this time back to pass, looking, and the ball nearly intercepted by number 44, Dwight Perkins, the man responsible early on for the strip of the running back Darren Jones, which was picked up by Clark Stewart for Plantation's first touchdown of the game. So Dwight Perkins, super play there, covering the tight end of the Cooper City Cowboys, Josh Shea, and that will bring up 4th down.
Well, he really did, and I tell you, he had picked up well. That's a dangerous pass to be throwing on that out pattern down here, because if that's intercepted, there's no one there. 6 points against you. So, again, now we got to look here, because we had a bad snap a minute ago, and that's got to be on the mind of the center as he snaps this one.
Nice snap. The ball is handled, punted off by Rendon. Short kick handled by Beard, but the ball's on the ground and recovered by Cooper City. Unbelievable situation happening here at Cooper City High School. The ball is muffed by Kevin Beard and recovered by number 90, Josh Shea, the tight end. And this is very similar to what happened in the Dillard Plantation game when Leonard Myers from Dillard bumped the ball and gave the Plantation Colonels second life, and they took it in for a touchdown.
Now, here you see the punt coming down, and Beard's right on the sideline. He'd already signaled at that point in time for the fair catch. Punt traveled just a little bit further than what Beard thought. Came over his head. He had to try to turn around backwards to field the ball, and a tremendously big turnover at this point in time.
So the ball rests on the Plantation Colonel 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Waters under center. Back to pass looking, finding number 85, Mike Cohen. And Cohen gets down to the 39-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 8 yards.
Well, again, we've seen the big tight end. Cohen's a nice-looking target out there, and Waters is throwing the ball well. He's only miscued on a couple of his passes tonight when he's thrown them down a little bit, but they're mixing the passing game up real well at this point in time. Here you'll see Waters get set. He's looking at him all the way. Steps, throws off that back foot, puts it all in there, throwing that out pattern. And again, like I say, one of the toughest high school passes I think you can throw. Pretty nice job. Looked like a little face mask there on the end, but I tell you, this has been a clean ball game.
2nd and 3, and now Waters is going to ask for a timeout. And understandably in this situation, Waters doesn't want to do anything wrong, so he calls the timeout.
Well, there you see Coach Barry Snyder. He's going to bring his team over to the hash mark with him where he can address to them. And don't know what he was able to see out there, but something wasn't right. And looks like he's talking to his back. Maybe it was the fact that they weren't in the formation he'd called in the huddle. But, go back to that punt, John. I don't know, it's a mistake, and that happens. Players try to make things happen, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I think the most impressive thing on that turnover was the alertness, and I missed his number because I was so involved in watching the fumble itself. But the alertness of the Cooper City player to recover that ball, he only had, you point out to me, it was John Kay, number 90. That ball was right on the sideline. If the ball goes out of bounds, it's no problem. Plantation still got it because they retained possession. I tell you what, that was very alert by Kay to get on that ball and cover it because it was right on the sideline. So, both these teams tonight have just done, I think, a tremendous job with the intensity. We're sitting down at 7 minutes basically to go, and the intensity has done nothing but pick up. I'll tell you something else that's picking up, we're seeing right now, it's the wind picking up, what the weatherman said tonight was going to start early on this evening. So, but Cooper City does have it at their back at this time.
So the ball's on the 40-yard line of the Colonels. Feliciano will be the ball carrier. He turns the corner, gets down to the 36-yard line, and that'll be enough for the first down.
Well, at this point in time, they're able to move the chains, and if they can move the chains, there's a lot of time on there. And this goes back right now, too. If you look at the alertness of the kicker by taking kicking the ball out of bounds a minute ago and giving up 2 points versus 6, there you see Feliciano turn it up. I believe he had enough. Yep, he had enough for a first down. Feliciano's done a good job running hard tonight, too. Nothing really spectacular on his runs coming out of the line of scrimmage, but just good, hard, solid runs picking up yardage. But I tell you, that kick out of the end zone a minute ago was maybe the smartest move in this ballgame tonight.
1st and 10 for the Cooper City Cowboys. They trail this game by 2. Waters back to pass, looking. He was looking for Ross Adele, his wide receiver. Went through his hands, incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he had Adele open. In the pass patterns that they're throwing right now, they're throwing that long out. They're throwing it for about 7 yards, 8 yards. So they're trying to get themselves in a position where they have a second, and it looks like 3, 4, something of that nature. But that ball was a little underthrown, and Adele just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Quite a bit of emotion on the Cooper City sideline, especially for the seniors. We mentioned at the beginning of the telecast, this is senior night and the final football game for the seniors of Cooper City High, at least as high school football players.
Absolutely.
2nd and 10 for the Cowboys. And how about this? Coach Snyder's on the sideline asking for a timeout, and then Waters is able to draw, apparently, Plantation offside. He told me right.
I tell you what, sometimes, you heard that old saying.
Encroachment, defense.
There you hear it, encroachment defense. And you're right. Barry Snyder was sitting there trying to get his quarterback to call timeout, and it looked like Waters looked at him. I thought he was going to come out from the center and call a timeout. Instead, he barks the signal. They get a 5-yard pickup in 2nd, and where are we here? You'd rather be lucky sometimes than maybe to be good.
And maybe, just maybe.
Maybe you're good and lucky.
Maybe that's a designed play. You don't even, that could be a situation.
Might be a little distraction.
So, 2nd and 5. Waters back to pass. He's in some trouble. He's going to buy some time running the football. He's looking deep. He's looking, and it's ball nearly caught by Julian Beckford.
I tell you what, it was nearly caught by Beckford. but it was also nearly intercepted. Beckford went up, hit the ball, knocked it up, and I tell you, you know, these kids are well coached out here by both these staffs on both sides of the ball. We almost had a tremendously big interception. Waters does a good job that time of getting out of the way, got hit kind of in the head there, and maybe a little face mask, slides out, throws the ball. He could have thrown it a little farther. Receiver had him beat. There you see the old tip drill. And I tell you what, Plantation almost perfected that and had a big pickoff.
So 3rd and 5 for the Cowboys. Waters back to pass, and he's in some immediate trouble. He puts it out to the tight end, Josh Kay. And Kay breaks the tackle, and he will dive forward, and it looks like he will have enough for the first down.
I tell you what, he may have a first down, and if he does, I tell you, that play certainly, you mean to tell me, I guess that was designed. They're going to have to measure this, John, and I tell you, look at this. Waters is in serious trouble. He's rolling out, I guess, trying to set that little screen. 55 is coming in there, doing a great job. Got him locked up, able to turn sidearm the ball. There's his big receiver. And watch this last little bit of an effort. He's trying, he's struggling, he gets it. He may have the first down. I tell you, John, this game has just been, this has been an exciting ball game to do. I tell you, I'm just tickled to death to be up here tonight even watching this game.
Everybody loves an underdog, and everyone has not left this stadium. The Plantation fans are sitting on the edge of the seat going, what's going on, guys? And they're making the measurement, and it looks to be just short of a first down, a chain link, and that'll bring up 4th down. And you have to think with 5:34 remaining, Coach Snyder has the emotion on his side. He has to go for the first down.
Well, this is going to be the biggest play of the night. Now, we can go back and look at the big runs and everything else that's happened. This is going to be the biggest play of the night because if he doesn't pick this up, Cooper City may not have another chance to put the offense on the field. And if they do, if Plantation has scored, then it could be a tremendous, they might have to have 2 drives to do it. He's got to pick up this first down. If he doesn't pick up the first down, I would say the odds switch to Plantation 100%.
The emotion of not getting the first down would really be very difficult to try to build up on the sideline of Cooper City again.
Well, let me ask you, we saw him go for this a little bit earlier. He went to the handoff to Feliciano. What does he do this time? He's got a good quarterback. Does he fire off the ball with a quarterback he needs about 2 inches, it looked like, by our camera crew? Again, have done a tremendous job, but he came off. Does he run it with a quarterback sneak, or does he try the handoff?
Well, his center is 215 pounds. His guard is 225, so he might try to go off the right side if it is a quarterback sneak. And Waters, I believe, fell on his knee, and I do not believe he is going to pick up the first down. The field is just a little bit wet. This is a multi-purpose field. In other words, a lot of teams do use this facility. Lots of dirt, poor footing. We're going to have to wait and see.
Well, I tell you what, it looks like he got an advantageous spot. I thought he fell down too, Sean, but I think we may have the change coming back out here.
I don't know if we have a replay on this, but it did look like the quarterback, Tommy Waters, fell down, got back up, and then dove forward.
And, you know, Waters was trying to throw him off. He saw him bob his head a little bit there, and he got away with it. And one of the Plantation guys flinched a little bit but didn't jump. So I think Waters was really thinking he might be able to pull him off. This is going to be a big mark. I tell you, the spot of this ball is critical. I think we can tell what it is.
Plantation comes up with the 4th and 1 stop. The Cooper City contingent not very happy, but I think what happened here, watch the quarterback. He slipped, his knee will hit the ground right there, and that is an excellent call by the officials.
Well, I thought the officials did a good job on that, too. In fact, I thought he got a real advantageous spot. I'm not down on the field, and I can't see it that well. Of course, my monitor, it's hard, but the officials have been down there, and I really think tonight, on both sides of the ball, we've had a tremendous game played by everybody and officiated by this group. Now, there's 5 minutes to go. It's going to be up to the Cooper City defense to hold them at this time and get the ball back and not let Plantation pick up a first down.
10 Cooper City muster up enough emotion to hang on in this football game. And there you see number 8, John Campbell, getting the carry, picking up about 4. And that's exactly what Plantation would like to do. Just run the football and watch the clock tick down to 0.
Well, absolutely. You've just gone under 5 minutes to play here. You got Campbell picking up about 5 yards. You know, this is a point in time in Plantation, they've got to have a goal in mind that they're going to slow play as slow as they can, and they want to move the chains twice. If they can pick up 2 first downs, then Cooper City is not going to get a chance to get this ball back.
2nd and 5 for the Colonel. The up back handles it once again, and that's number 8, John Campbell. Campbell will pick up 8 and a first down.
Well, you know, Sean, in some ways, the first downs, I mean, when I said pick up 2 first downs, I meant going 4 plays each time to pick them up and running the clock out. As long as Plantation's able to move the sticks, then they're in control of the game. You're going to go under before this snap. Well, Cooper City's going to try to stop it now. This is a good time to call a timeout. You got a first down play. Don't let the clock go under the 4 minutes at 4:05. And, you know, they're going to have to pull up real strong this time and real big because they're going to have to shut it down. But isn't this an unbelievable ball game? We're talking about one of the best teams and one of the longest winning streaks going on in the state of Florida right now, and that's on the line. It has been on the line all night tonight.
Plantation did not take the lead in this football game until a safety occurred on a bad snap to the punter. Here on first down, Harold Walden, the ball carrier. He looks to turn the corner. And it looks to pick up about 4 yards. He might have stepped out of bounds. And that'll bring up 2nd and 6. And that's the last thing Coach Kepler wants is one of his running backs running out of bounds.
Yeah, he does. There you see the handoff. Number 7 coming around on the outside. Harold Walden does a good job. Makes a nice cut right there and gets outside. A little stiff arm there on number 4. And, you know, but you're right. The last thing he wants to see is anybody going out of bounds and stopping the clock and giving the opponent the opportunity.
2nd and 5 for the Colonels. This time the ball is handed off to the fullback. It's Campbell. Campbell picks up 6 and a first down.
Well, this is where you're seeing that offensive front for Plantation take control of the line of scrimmage. So at this point in time, the Cooper City defense, that front of theirs, that 4-4, those linebackers are going to have to step up in there real quick. And they're going to have to try to make something happen and keep the chains from moving.
We saw how good the offensive line for Plantation was 2 weeks ago against Dillard. That line of Shapiro, Caggiano, Luggery, Bavette, and Golub, they're doing the job, especially here in the second half. This time Plantation runs off tackle, picking up about 4 yards. The carry was John Campbell. And you want to talk about an offensive lineman's dream. This is it right here. You have to think that the offensive line coach from Plantation walked up to those 5 men and said, guys, you have to win this football game right now.
Well, you really do. Here you see the replay, and you see the offensive line. They've got to be able to give these backs just enough room to get their head in there and pick up. If they can pick up 3 yards of carry, then they're going to be in good shape. And they're doing that at this point in time. Yeah, I'm sure the offensive line knows that the game's in their hands at this point in time.
This time Walden trying to turn the corner. Cooper City does its job in running him out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. We'll have to wait and see on the mark. It'll be very close to a first down. And it'll be very close, but not enough. It'll be probably under a yard, according to the sticks to the far side. So, 3rd and a little bit less than 1 for the Colonels. 2:22 remains. And this would be a huge stop for Cooper City if they can come up with it, but they haven't been able to stop the Colonels so far on this drive. And this time the ball is given to number 6, Travis Madison, their short line guru, as he proved in the Dillard game, and he comes up clutch once again with the first down run.
Well, there's where Travis Madison, we saw that in the Dillard game, and here you'll see it again. This is just about the same play they ran for the touchdown to win the game. Madison just puts his head down, bows across. He's got good leg strength, plows on across, and he's made sure he's got the first down. We saw him do that with the winning touchdown against Dillard.
I don't know what adjustments the Colonels made at the half, but they've definitely taken Nick Hill out of the second half. He was a dominant fixture in the first half, but really he's only been in on maybe a tackle or two here in the second half.
Well, he really has. They've been pulling somebody out on Hill, and as you saw it there that time, they're pulling someone or either putting the back over him, picking him up man on man, and they've been able to take him out. But the other thing we've seen is we saw him come back out and go to that dominating running game that they have. And I think that's the key that they might have made at that half. But you're right. They've taken Nick out. Watch this right here, and I believe Nick Hill is over on this side. You'll see there that they get in a good block that time on him, push him out, and at number 6, that was the running back. Put the running back on him, kick him out, give the running back a little bit of room.
Well, if you're curious why Cooper City isn't stopping the clock, they have no timeouts to stop the clock. This time the ball is given to number 6, Travis Madison. And Madison will fall forward. If they pick up a first down, that'll be the end of the football game. They'll be able to run it out. I believe they're just short. They had one timeout left, and they used their final timeout. So with 1:07 remaining here in the fourth period of play, the Cowboys use their final timeout, and it's going to be on a 3rd and 3 situation. So hopefully what they're planning on is stop them on 3rd down, and on 4th down, make another stop and get the ball back with maybe 30 seconds remaining in the football game.
Well, they've got a tremendous task in front of them, and we've certainly seen things happen that are that phenomenal, but they've got a tremendous task in front of them. Because at this point in time, they've got to stop them this time. Not Cooper City, Plantation has been picking up, it looks to me like, between 3 and 5 yards on every carry with their running backs right now. They've got a 3rd and looks like about 2 to go for a first down. So Cooper City's got to make penetration to try to set them back, and then they got to do it 2 times in a row. If they don't do it, the game's over and Plantation keeps their streak alive.
So when play resumes, the ball will be on the 30-yard line. In order to pick up a first down, the Colonels need to go about 2.5 yards to the 28.5-yard line. And so far, that really hasn't been a problem on this drive. The Colonels have been picking up about 5 yards of carry each play that they've run. So you see the stack guy in the backfield. O'Neal Sandiford, the ball carrier. He will turn the corner, and it looks as if Sandiford will have enough for the first down. And if he does, that'll be all she wrote unless the Colonels fumble the ball away.
Well, if they picked up the first down, I don't think you're going to see them do anything except take a knee and sit on this ball. They've got a seasoned quarterback out there with them with Snyder. And here you'll see, I think they may have stopped them. They may be going to get measurements. There you see the handoff. There you see number 9, who we've seen all night long, turn the corner with Sandiford. Might has a nice tackle out there, but going to depend on the spot. It's going to be mighty hard for Cooper City. If they don't pick up this first down, though, it's going to be mighty hard for them to stop them the second time.
And there you see it, the first down. Sandiford able to lunge forward and pick it up. So a new set of downs, 4 downs with 1 minute to go. Cooper City has no timeouts. So unless we have an unforeseen miracle, Plantation is going to survive, and that is the best word you can describe it as, survive this game against Cooper City.
Well, it really is, and Perry Snyder's always turned around to his kids and said, put your helmets on, get ready to shake hands. He realizes the game's over at this point in time. They're going to let the clock run down, probably take a 5-yard penalty, step up, take a snap, take a knee. And, that's going to be the ball game. I tell you what, and I go back to it, there you see the penalty coming out. Which is smart. They're only going to take 1 snap, and that's all Coach Epner wants to take. So, and that's smart too, because anything can happen. Balls can come out. It's a little bit wet out there. Get a bad snap, and you certainly hate with 35 or 40 seconds to have it go. So, Snyder will step up, take the snap, put a knee down, and that's going to be the game. Tremendous football game tonight.
Snyder takes the snap and falls down on a knee. And depending on when the referee puts the ball back in play, and that should be the final play of the game because there's 20 seconds remaining, and the Colonels don't need to take any more snaps in this football game.
No, that's going to be the football game right there.
And Coach Epler, the last thing he needed was 2 super football games. The last one he played was against Dillard, which he won in overtime, and it took a safety on a bad punt late in the third quarter to give the Colonels a 2-point differential in winning this football game. But credit the Colonel defense that shut out Cooper City here in the second half, scored 9 unanswered points to come away with the 23-21 District 12 6A victory. Cooper City, on the other hand, Coach, you have to give kudos to Coach Snyder and his boys. 2-7 coming in. This was their final game. A victory in no scenario would have put them in the playoffs. And these kids came out hungry. They came out to play and nearly pulled off the upset in Broward County.
Well, I tell you what, they really did. I thought it was a tremendous football game tonight. Had all the excitement and everything you could have. And you had two football teams. You got one that's undefeated, who remains undefeated. You got another team that's 2-7 that came out here, and you would have thought they were undefeated going into this game because they played that way. And they just did a tremendous job. My hat's off to both coaches, to all the kids on the field. You know, John, another thing, too, this is one of the cleanest football games I think we've seen played. There were some penalties out here, of course, and this type thing, but it was a good football game all the way around. I think you got to go back, though, and probably you mentioned the play where the 2 points, but I'm not so sure that was the biggest play. Obviously, they're not in an overtime, so that's the point difference. The biggest play was when you got 2 inches to go from fourth down, you got to be able to pick up that. And that's the case where Cooper City couldn't pick it up. They had the momentum going with them again. They had a great drive going. They just couldn't get those 2 inches. That's a big 2 inches.
There you see the players congratulating each other after a super football game. So we are going to take a timeout after this super football game from Cooper City High. The final score, once again, Plantation survives on the road, defeats Cooper City 23-21. So Coach Milton will be down on the field talking to the winning coach and the player of the game right after this.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Looking gorgeous, handsome hunky, posing. Say a few words. Who are you? Look at this outfit.
If you don't stop someone from driving drunk, who will?
Stay check.
Do whatever it takes.
The headlines are out. Kathy Rollins of the show Headliners is a huge success. All the local celebrities are spotlighted each and every week. From past fame to soon-to-be famous, Kathy Rollins gets to the heart of each guest. Headliners is television with a personal touch. Finally, a show for and about people in South Florida. Every Monday evening at 7:30, only on Channel 19.
Hi, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Adam.
I'm Nelson. And this is about Garage Sale TV Broward County. We just want to fill you in. We're here. We're running. What you do is you call us at 741-8500. Anything you're selling from A to Z, your house, your boat, your car, we're going to send a video man out to your house. We're going to bring it back to the studio, produce a video class. I put your name and number on the screen, and buyers are going to come, and they're going to call you. And it's excellent. It's very inexpensive. It costs less than the newspapers, folks. So remember, Broward County, let's get videos.
Hi, I'm Bruce McFadden.
And I'm Michael Dorn.
On Star Trek The Next Generation, I play Dr. Beverly Crusher. Computer, emergency entry, Chief Medical Officer Beverly Crusher.
And I play Worf, the Klingon.
Worf to Enterprise. Go ahead, sir. Beam me up.
Our movie's special effects are light years ahead of the original televised Star Trek. But we both share the same vision of the future, where education and advancing technology have dramatically improved human and alien life throughout the galaxy.
Education can improve your life, too. You'll have a positive future filled with opportunities. So stay in school and graduate.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force, because we know the value of a good education.
Tonight we're We're standing on the Cooper City High School. We've got a little bit of a different feeling with us tonight at the game. A tremendous football game tonight. Player of the game, Jason Feliciano, had 81 yards rushing, was the workhorse out here tonight for Cooper City. Jason, you did an excellent job. You guys were in the game. I know you came in playing Coach Hepler, Plantation High School, one of the longest winning streaks in the state, and fired up, ready to go. I got to tell you right now, I think that was the best 2-7 football team I've ever seen. I want to congratulate you, and what are your comments on the game?
We came out, we played hard. It's unfortunate that we lost. We've been playing hard this whole year, all the games and stuff. The ball was rolling our way. We had some bad breaks. That's it, but the line is good. The defense is good. They played.
Well, I tell you what, you really did. Cooper City had a lot to be proud of tonight. You went against one of the best teams in the state of Florida. We've seen them play, and we're wishing them well. They got one more game to go 10-0. Coach, you and I have been standing here on several occasions. My congratulations to you again tonight. The streak's alive, and hey, struggled a little bit, but you came out with a big win, and I tell you, I don't even know what to ask you, so I'm just going to let you make a comment.
Yeah, this guy right here and his offensive line and his team did a great job, and Coach Snyder, they came after us. They're always prepared when they play against us, and, I give them a lot of credit, and, we know that. We showed the kids the film, and we talked to them, and we said, hey, Cooper City's been in every ball game they played this year. We cannot take them lightly, and we came off that big win, and, maybe we did a little bit, but I don't think so. They came out here and took it to us, and we were lucky a little bit to get out of here with a victory, and like I said, I give them a lot of credit, and they came after us. Easy, they could have said, well, hey, our season's over, let's take it easy, we're playing a good team. They didn't. They came out here and gave it their all, and I congratulate them, and like I said, just happy to get out here with a victory.
Well, I tell you what, you've had 2 good games. I tell you what, when we know you're going to make the playoffs. We know you're going to be there. You couldn't have better tests or better warm-ups going into the playoffs than the last 2 ball games you've got, and your kids have come and risen to the occasion. How do you feel going into the last game? A little bit of pressure there. Got an opportunity to go 10-0, Coach.
Yeah, well, we know Cooper City's always going to be a tough game. That's become a district rival pretty much. Either the district championship's been on the line or a playoff berth or something the last few years. This year is just to come out. It was their last game, so we knew they'd play hard. Then we have to go and face South, which is our big rival across town. And people don't realize how tough that is. You come off your Dillard game, even though you have a week, you got these guys that are going to play you tough all the time, and then go play South Plantation. They're always going to play you tough because that's that city rival. So, yeah, there's a little pressure, but our kids, I think they know, hey, we got to be ready to go and get ready for the playoffs after that.
Well, you did. I want to congratulate Jason as the player of the game. Jason, congratulations to you. Congratulations to your team. It was a great ball game tonight. Coach Hepler, I'm sure we're going to be standing here again in the very near future. My congratulations to you and to your team. And, you got one game to go, so we're wishing you all the best. Back upstairs to Sean Alvashar.
So there you see the only light left on in Cooper City High School. The final score once again, the Colonels, by virtue of a safety, defeat the Cooper City Cowboys 23-21. Now, an added bonus tonight, we're going to take a look at the game highlights from tonight's Super Football game. And there you see early on Cooper City with a Jason Feliciano 2-yard touchdown run. That puts Cooper City up 7-0. And there you see the celebration from the Cowboys. They were starting to believe. But then back would come Plantation. Watch Humberto Amaya come in, block the Sean Thompson punt. And then he'll pick up the ball and then rumble 40 yards. And all of a sudden, the dream of upset is about to occur here at Cooper City High School. The 40-yard touchdown after the blocked punt by Humberto Amaya, and that made the score 14-0, Cooper City in the lead. But then back would come Plantation with the defense. Here's the fumble by Darren Jones, the fullback. There you see the strip, and then the ball is being picked up by Claude Stewart, and Claude Stewart would rumble 36 yards, and that would cut the lead in half to 14-7. Cooper City still in the lead. Then later in the second quarter, after a great drive by the Colonels, you see Sandiford plow his way into the end zone and tie this game all up at 14 apiece. But that would not be it for Cooper City. The momentum would swing right back around on the ensuing kickoff. The man who fumbled the ball, looked early on to be the GOAT of this football game, comes back to be the hero. Darren Jones picks up the kickoff and from his own 9-yard line finds his wall. Great block. And watch the block coming up right about now that springs Jones free. And Jones would then cut it back to the inside of the field. Only the kicker, Intriago, could catch up with him, and he wasn't going to be able to do that. And when this play is all said and done, 91-yard kickoff return, Cooper City takes the 21-14 lead, and that's where we would stand at the half. But then the Colonel defense comes up big in the second half, will shut out the Cowboys, and the offense does just enough for the Colonels. Here, you'll see the quarterback, Snyder, who really didn't have one of his better games, finds Kevin Beard and watch the tiptoe down the sideline around the pylon touchdown. The extra point would be good, 21-all. And here was the difference in the football game. Rendon back to punt for the Cowboys. The snap flies over Rendon's head. Rendon has to go back, and there's only one thing he can do at this point. If he tries to pick it up, he's going to have a bigger problem than he would before. He'll kick the ball out of bounds. That would be a safety, and that would be the difference in this football game. An absolutely wonderful high school football game here at Cooper City High School. And the safety was the difference. There you see the final. 23-21, Plantation wins the football game. So for everybody here at Continental Cablevision, for my co-host Al Milton, I'm Sean Alveshire saying good night, everyone.